Chapter 2389. Yes, sure. We still have to have pork. Just having chicken won't do. Qian Jue nodded vigorously, agreeing with Hu Chuanhua's words. Because they lived in the countryside, it was very inconvenient to eat meat. They could only go to Yang city or town to buy pork. Their village did not have a butcher, unlike other villages that had butchers who could buy pork directly. There were more people in the village, so there should be people who would buy some to eat. This was because there were many people in old Zhao's courtyard who came to watch the show. When they heard Hu Chunhua and Qian Hongzhao's conversation, some people took the initiative to curry favor. A woman walked up and said to Hu Chunhua and Qian Hongzhao, "No need to ask anymore. My family has it. I just bought 2 caddies from town today. I'll go get it for you." The reason why she was trying to curry favor was because Zhao Tianlong was a high school graduate. If it were someone else, they probably would not do this. There were many benefits to having a good relationship with the Zhao family. The villagers were all smart people. Naturally, they could see the situation clearly and knew what to do. Hu Chunhua beamed and said, Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. We're all from the same village, so we should help each other. Tianlong, this child, has done our Shuilan village proud. You don't have to pay for these 2 caddies of meat. You can eat it. Take it as my congratulations to your Zhao family. 2 caddies of meat cost dozens of copper coins. Since it was free, Hu Chunhua was naturally very happy. She politely thanked them and knew what they meant. She deliberately said, "When that child, Tianlong, comes back, we must talk to him and let him remember this friendship." When the woman heard this, she immediately stopped joking and was very happy. When the other villagers heard this, they could not help it. Another came over to curry favor and said, "My relatives just sent me a few jugs of good wine. I'll go get it for your family too. You have so many officials in your family, so you must use wine to entertain them." Hu Chunhua was a greedy person. When she heard this, she quickly said, "Okay, thank you. I'll talk to my family's Tianlong later. The people in our village are so friendly. They're all good people." None of them were willing to fall behind, for fear that they would be targeted by the Zhao clan and not be able to benefit from it in the future. Basically, everyone who had something at home took out everything they had and waited for old Zhao's family to send it over. They wanted to establish a good relationship with him so that they could benefit from it in the future. Hu Chunhua enjoyed the feeling of being sought after by the entire village. This time, Zhao Tianlong had really brought honor to his family. If it was in the past, the villagers would not have fawned over them like this. There was a difference between passing the exam and not passing the exam. If you passed the exam, everyone would fear you and want to curry favor with you. Thinking that Zhao Tianlong would be able to become a high-ranking official in the future, Hu Chunhua felt an indescribable sense of pride. At this moment, in front of everyone, Hu Chunhua straightened her back even more and had a proud look on her face. Feng Zhangxia was the same as Hu Chunhua. She was also very pleased with herself. Especially when she heard the villagers praising Zhao Tianlong and envying her, how could she not be happy? In the future, when Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, she would be the wife of a high-ranking official. How much face would she have if this were to spread out? Of course, face was one thing. Enjoying life in the future was another. Chapter 2390. After waiting for this year, she felt that all the hardships she had suffered in the past were worth it. This was because what parents hoped for the most was for their children to succeed. Fortunately, Zhao Tianlong did not disappoint her. Feng Zhangxia said to Hu Chunhua, "Mother, our family's culinary skills are not very good. The food that we make probably won't satisfy these officials. Why don't we call Yun over? That girl's culinary skills are good and the food she makes is delicious." The officials will definitely be satisfied after eating it. Since these people were here to announce the good news, as the family members of the current third-place finisher, they naturally had to help old Zhao maintain his reputation. These people who were here to announce the good news would not feel that their old Zhao family's food was too shabby. After hearing Feng Zhangxiao's words, Wu Chunhua nodded and expressed her agreement. It is indeed much better to let Yun come over to cook. If we cook, it will purely be a waste of ingredients and we won't be able to make such delicious food. It's just that Yun's personality is too stingy. She might not be willing to come over and help us cook. After all, this was not an easy task. In addition, Zhao Yun was the current heir's consort and not an ordinary country girl. Naturally, she could not be casually ordered around to do such dirty and tiring work in the kitchen. Feng Zhangxia smiled and said, "It's fine, mother. I'll go and talk to them first. If it really doesn't work, I'll call someone else over." However, this is Tianlong's joyous occasion. Yun has never been calculative about such important matters. She should agree to come over and help. Feng Zhangxia had a certain understanding of Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun's stinginess was only in matters of principle. Most of the time, she was never stingy about important matters. Just like when old Zhao's family held a few joyous occasions, Zhao Yun had always come over to help. If her tone was slightly better and she begged Zhao Yun more, Zhao Yun would definitely agree. Hu Chunhua responded, "All right, then you go." Yeah. Feng Zhangxia ran towards Zhao Yun's house. Before Feng Zhangxia arrived at Zhao Yun's house, Zhao Yun's family had already found out about Zhao Tianlong's third-place ranking. When the messenger arrived, everyone in the village went over to old Zhao's house to watch the commotion. When they found out that Zhao Tianlong had passed the high scholar examination, the news spread like wildfire throughout the village. In no time, the news had spread like wildfire. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao were very happy when they found out that Zhao Tianlong had come in third place. They laughed and said, "Tianlong has been very outstanding since he was young. After he started studying, he received a lot of praise from the teachers. Who would have thought that he would really pass the imperial examination, and even get third place? This was a rare happy occasion. I don't think there's a talent like him in every village within 10 miles. Yes. There are so many people taking part in the imperial examination in Dezhou. It wasn't easy for Tianlong to stand out among them. It's our old Zhao's fortune. Our old Zhao's family saved up a lot of money for Tianlong's studies over the years. Now that we see him succeed in his studies and stand out among his peers, it's really gratifying. Isn't that right? To be able to get third place in the imperial examination, it was worth it no matter how hard we worked. Ha! It's really a happy occasion. I reckon that Tianlong will be back soon. We have to prepare some gifts for big brother and sister-in-law. In the future, we will definitely hold a banquet to congratulate Tianlong." Chapter 2391. Okay. We should go to father and mother's place to join in the fun. Zhao Wenhua was a person who liked to join in the fun. She called out to Liang Jinxiao and couldn't wait to join in the fun. Liang Jinxiao smiled and nodded. "Okay, I'll go and get ready. Yun, do you want to go and take a look?" Liang Jinxiao even called out to Zhao Yun as he spoke. These days, he saw that Zhao Yun was bored staying at home all day, so he wondered if there was something lively to take Zhao Yun to have a look so that he could kill some time. Zhao Yun smiled and replied, "Okay, mother, I'll join in the fun." Anyway, she was just staying at home and there wasn't anything important to do. She might as well join in the fun. Although she didn't have a good impression of her eldest cousin brother, Zhao Tianlong, it wasn't easy for Zhao Tianlong to pass the imperial examinations and even get third place in the examination. At the very least, it showed that Zhao Tianlong was a talent. Zhao Yun had some understanding of the ancient imperial examinations. The imperial examinations were the best way for people at the bottom of society to climb up. Villagers like them could only use the imperial examinations to change their social class fate. They wouldn't have to be poor farmers for the rest of their lives. Once they passed the imperial examinations, it was equivalent to a carp leaping over the dragon's gate and achieving meteoric success. However, passing the imperial examinations wasn't easy. It was much more difficult than the imperial examinations in the 21st century. It wasn't easy to become the provincial top scorer in the 21st century's imperial examinations. In ancient times, it was a national examination, so it was even more difficult. However, once one passed the imperial examinations, it meant that one could become an official and live a good life. That was why old Zhao's family and the entire Shuai-Lan village were so excited when Zhao Tianlong got third place in the imperial examinations. Just as the family was about to leave, they saw Feng Zhangshe walking over. Once she saw Zhao Yun, Feng Zhangshe came over with a smile. It was better to wait for Zhao Yun to congratulate her. Feng Zhangshe had already taken the initiative to say it. Yun girl, third brother, third sister-in-law, let me tell you a piece of good news. My family's Tianlong has passed the third place. The people in the capital have just sent the news. Seeing Feng Zhangshe beaming with joy, he knew how she felt at the moment. Zhao Yun, Zhao Wenhua, and Liang Jinqiao all congratulated him. Feng Zhangshe smiled shyly and explained her purpose in front of Zhao Yun with some embarrassment. Yun, Auntie has a favor to ask of you. I don't know if you're willing to. If you have something to say, just say it. Yun, it's like this. A group of people came to report the good news. There are about 7 or 8 of them. Your grandfather and grandmother said that we should treat them well. However, you know our culinary skills. No one can cook well. I'm afraid that these officials will dislike our food. Therefore, I came to ask Yun if you can help cook a meal for the head chef. Just treat them this once will do. Auntie knows that I've troubled you with this matter and I'm a little embarrassed. However, there's no other way. When your eldest cousin brother comes back, I'll ask him to thank you properly. Feng Zhangshe's words made it difficult to refuse. However, to Zhao Yun, this wasn't a big deal. Chapter 2392. Zhao Yun said, Auntie, I haven't said that I don't want to. But if I help cook, there's no one at home to cook. I'll have to bring my parents and Daodu, Tianfu, and Tianan over to eat. Otherwise, it would be more troublesome for them to cook lunch for themselves in the third branch. Liang Jinqiao was pregnant and couldn't do too much work. Mu Hin, on the other hand, had to help Mulan's family. Feng Zhangshe heard this and quickly nodded in agreement. Don't worry. Little girl Yun, since you're going to be the chef, your family will definitely have to follow you to eat. Even if you don't cook, they'll definitely call your third branch over for such a joyous occasion. Zhao Yun nodded, well, Auntie, that's fine. I'll go and help cook this lunch. When Feng Zhangshe heard this, she immediately smiled and said a few words to Zhao Yun, gratefully, Yun, our girl, thank you so much. Only your good craftsmanship can support our old Zhao family's image. Auntie will remember your help this time. If you need any help in the future, Auntie will definitely do her best to help. In terms of eloquence, no one could beat Feng Zhangshe. Her words were very beautiful, but whether she could actually do it was another matter. At least from Zhao Yun's understanding of Feng Zhangshe was only good at talking. She didn't really help people much. Zhao Yun didn't like to be calculative in this aspect. Since she had decided to help out in the kitchen, she definitely didn't expect Feng Zhangxia to return this favor. Then let's go now. Xiao Yun called out. It was almost noon, so it was time to prepare to cook. If they cooked a few more dishes, they would have to work for a long time. It couldn't be delayed, so they had to hurry over to old Zhao's house and start working. Feng Zhangxia nodded heavily and responded, "Okay, let's go, let's go." Xiao Yun, Zhao Ping's voice suddenly came from behind. Xiao Yun turned around and asked plainly, "What? If you leave, what will Brother Yuan and I eat for lunch?" Zhao Ping's tone had some dissatisfaction. The other members of the third branch could go to old Zhao's house to eat, but he and Qin Yuan couldn't. Because of Zhao Xinhui's incident, Zhao Ping and Hu Chunhua couldn't get along and couldn't meet. If Zhao Ping and Qin Yuan also went to old Zhao's house to eat lunch, with Hu Chunhua's temper, she would definitely chase them out with a knife. Since that was the case, they naturally wouldn't go over and invite a snub. At this moment, Feng Zhangxia also turned around and looked at Zhao Ping, feeling very displeased. She had finally succeeded in persuading Xiao Yun to help out in the kitchen. How could she let Zhao Ping come over and mess things up? The moment she saw Zhao Ping's face, Feng Zhangxia jumped in fright as if she had seen a ghost. At this moment, Zhao Ping's face was smeared with a layer of green medicine, making her entire face look very scary. Feng Zhangxia's first reaction in her mind was that Zhao Ping was really too ugly. Her second reaction was that ugly people were always up to no good. She was so ugly, yet she actually came out for a stroll. Xiao Yun curled her lips and replied plainly, "Can't you burn your own hands and feet? Are you still counting on others?" Chapter 2393. Xiao Yun rolled her eyes. This Xiao Ping was totally finding excuses for her own laziness. Even if it was really as Xiao Ping said, then Xiao Ping was indeed too pampering Qin Yuan. Everything she did was for Qin Yuan's sake. Was she afraid that Qin Yuan would not be full for a meal or something? "Big sister Ping, when I usually cook, why don't you learn by the side? Don't you know how to cook when you do other things every day?" Xiao Yun replied indifferently. Zhao Ping pursed her lips. I can't learn it." "Then is it because your brain is too stupid?" Xiao Yun, what do you mean? "Literally. Look, big sister Ping, you still can't understand human language." Zhao Ping glared at Xiao Yun angrily. "You slut, you're too much." "Too much? How is it too much? It's you who's too much, right? Isn't it just lunch? You didn't do it yourself, yet you're counting on others. Even if Qin Yuan isn't used to other people's cooking, it's just a meal. Can't you just make do with a meal and eat something?" After being rebuked by Xiao Yun like this, Zhao Ping did not know what to say. However, she still replied unwillingly, "Xiao Yun, Big Brother Yuan's injuries haven't healed yet. You can't treat him unfairly." Xiao Yun snorted lightly and replied sarcastically, "Haven't healed yet? How many days has it been, and you still say that he hasn't healed yet?" "Xiao Ping, are you using Qin Yuan's injuries as an excuse to stay here and not leave? I think the two of you can pack up and scram back to family Qin these few days." "You," Xiao Ping stared at Xiao Yun not knowing what to say. In fact, Xiao Yun had guessed one thing correctly. She and Qin Yuan did want to continue to stay in the third branch. Not to mention that the third branch lived in a much better place. The most important thing was that the food in the third branch was also very good. This was something that family Qin couldn't compare to. Qin Yuan liked to eat Xiao Yun's cooking. He could eat every meal to his heart's content. If they returned to the family Qin, although they could buy good food with money, Zhao Ping and Qin Yuan's mother were not good at cooking. Even if they bought good ingredients, it would be a waste if they did not cook well. She might as well stay at Zhao Yuner's place. At least she could eat and drink well every day. She wanted to live comfortably. How could she be willing to return to the family Qin? Big sister Ping, I didn't want to scold you at first, but you were so picky when you stayed in my house. You didn't know your place. Don't blame me for leaving quickly. Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, I left a long time ago. I'll move out in a few days. I'm already looking for a house in Yang City. Once I buy it, I'll move to Yang City. Who wants to live in this lousy countryside? It's best if you don't want to. Zhao Yun curled her lips and said. Humph. Zhao Ping angrily turned around and went inside the house. Zhao Yun was too lazy to talk to Zhao Ping. She walked with Feng Zhangxia towards old Zhao's house. Feng Zhangxia sighed in relief. Fortunately, Zhao Yun didn't go back on her words. Otherwise, she would hate Zhao Ping to death. Feng Zhangxia felt uncomfortable whenever she thought of Zhao Ping. She said to Zhao Yuner, you're too nice. You let Ping and her husband stay in your house for so long. Don't you think it's troublesome? If it were me, I would have chased them away long ago if you were so picky and ordered me to do this and that. Chapter 2394. Feng Zhangxia smiled embarrassedly. That's right. It's a good thing that they're leaving. Seeing that Zhao Yun was no longer interested in the topic, Feng Zhangxia did not continue. She was not worried about other people's matters. If it was any other time, she would definitely nag about it. Now, Feng Zhangxia's heart was only filled with Zhao Tianlong. Zhao Tianlong was the third-place finalist in the high school and had made her proud. He could not wait for Zhao Tianlong to return and see for himself what his promising son looked like. The few of them quickened their pace and arrived at old Zhao's house in a short while. As the news of Zhao Tianlong being the third-place finalist had spread throughout the village, old Zhao's house had more people coming to join in the fun. Basically, more than half of the people in the village came over and surrounded old Zhao's courtyard in layers of people. Zhao Tianlong had not returned yet. If he did, the scene would probably be even grander. At this moment, Lord Li Jing knew that Zhao Tianlong was the third-place finalist and hurried over to old Zhao's house to congratulate old Zhao. Zhao Baoshan was in charge of entertaining the guests. Lord Li Jing chuckled and said, Old Master Zhao, congratulations. Your family's Tianlong is really capable to be the third-place finalist. He's really amazing. Not only is Tianlong the pride of old Zhao's house, he's also the pride of our entire Shuilan village. Not to mention the third-place finalist, even an ordinary high scholar passing the examination was not easy. There might not even be a few people in one course of treatment, not to mention a third-place finalist in Shuilan village. This was the first time this had happened. As the head of Shuilan village, how could Lord Li Jing not be happy? Thank you Lord Li Jing. For you to specially come over to congratulate us is our family's Tianlong and the entire old Zhao's blessing. Zhao Baoshan was grinning from ear to ear, his face filled with pride. Lord Li Jing chuckled, it's my duty to come over for such an important matter. Zhao Baoshan pulled Li Zheng's sleeves and said, Li Zheng, let's have lunch together today. Our old Zhao family has specially prepared some dishes to entertain you. Please don't refuse. Li Zheng chuckled and replied, this is my honor, how can I refuse? That's good. Lord Li Zheng, please come in. All right. Lord Li Jing walked into old Zhao's house, while Zhao Baoshan was beaming with joy, with an indescribable sense of pride. More and more people came to old Xiao's courtyard to congratulate him. However, Xiao Baoshan only invited some of the more prestigious people in the village to stay for a meal. After all, there were too many people in the village. If they invited everyone, their family wouldn't be able to sit down and there wouldn't be enough food for them. The others could only stand in front of old Xiao's yard and join in the fun. Many people were envious of old Xiao's family for having such a talent, while others were jealous of old Xiao's family. However, no matter what, no one could change the fact that Xiao Tianlong was the third-place finalist. No matter how glorious old Xiao's family was, they could only be envious. Xiao Yun went to the kitchen with Feng Zhangxia and the rest to start preparing the dishes. As there were quite a lot of ingredients, there were fish, meat, chicken and duck. Xiao Yun could cook these dishes in a variety of ways. Chapter 2395. If they could combine some home-cooked dishes with these meat dishes, they would be able to make a sumptuous meal. Not long after, the fragrant smell of food wafted out from old Xiao's kitchen. Even those officials who were used to delivering messages to old Xiao's family couldn't help but take a deep breath when they smelled the aroma of the dishes in old Xiao's courtyard. They couldn't wait for the meal to start. On the other hand, Xiao Ping returned to the house in a huff. When he saw Xiao Ping's unhappy face, Qin Yuan asked gently, "Ping, what's wrong? You don't look happy. Did something happen?" Xiao Ping pursed her lips and said honestly to Qin Yuan, "Xiao Yun is really something." She ran over to old Xiao's house to cook for him. She left the two of us hanging out in the middle of the afternoon. "Big brother Yuan, what are we eating later?" Qin Yuan was stunned. Then, he said gently, "It's fine. Just make do with something." "Ping, I'll eat whatever you cook for me. I'm not picky." After hearing Qin Yuan's words, Xiao Ping felt much better. If Qin Yuan insisted that he only wanted to eat Xiao Yun's food, then she really couldn't do anything about it. However, when she thought about what Xiao Yun said just now, Xiao Ping said to Qin Yuan, "Big brother Yuan, we might have to move out in a few days. Xiao Yun that be *tch, is chasing us away now." Qin Yuan comforted her. "It's fine. Ping, once we buy a house in Yang City, we can move over. Anyway, my injuries are more or less healed. I don't have to stay here to recuperate anymore." Big brother Yuan, are your injuries really more or less healed? Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere?" Xiao Ping asked with concern. "I'm fine. I'm really more or less healed. I can even get out of bed and walk around. Ping, you've been by my side for such a long time. You've seen me slowly get better." Xiao Ping nodded heavily. Actually, Qin Yuan could get out of bed and walk around some time ago. However, Xiao Ping was worried about Qin Yuan's condition, so she told Qin Yuan to lie down more often and not move around casually. This way, Qin Yuan's injuries would heal more completely. Otherwise, if he just came down and moved, who knew if the bumps would worsen the injury. "Ping, thank you for taking care of me all this time. I've seen everything you've done for me. I'll treat you well in the future. I'll never let you down." Qin Yuan looked at Xiao Ping affectionately. However, his attitude towards Xiao Ping a few months ago was completely different. Xiao Ping smiled shyly. "It's fine, big brother Yuan. I'm willing to do anything for you. You don't have to thank me because I'm willing to do it." Actually, it's good to leave this place. We can move to Yang City earlier and live a better life there. Yes, we'll live in Yang City in the future. It's much more convenient than living in this poor village. Yeah, the village isn't as prosperous as Yang City. It'll be more convenient for us to buy and eat whatever we want in Yang City. Big Brother Yuan. My face is a little itchy. The doctor said it's fine if my face is itchy. I'll go and wash my face now. Zhao Ping suddenly felt itchy on her face and told Qin Yuan. The stuff that she applied on her face was the last medicine prescribed by the doctor. Chapter 2396. Zhao Ping couldn't wait to see how beautiful she looked. Once the birthmark and spots on her face were removed, she should look much better and wouldn't be as ugly as before. Qin Yuan smiled and nodded. There was a hint of doting in his eyes. Quickly go. Actually, he was also looking forward to Zhao Ping's appearance after she became beautiful. Although he felt that the soul was more important than beauty, it would naturally be better if Zhao Ping could become more beautiful. No one would despise themselves for being good-looking or handsome. Zhao Ping ran out of the house eagerly. She fetched a basin of water and carefully washed her face. After a long while, she finally washed the ointment off her face. After washing up, Zhao Ping suppressed her excitement and ran into the house because the mirror was placed inside. Big Brother Yuan, what does my face look like now? Zhao Ping asked nervously. Qin Yuan raised his head and took a look at Zhao Ping's face. He was instantly stunned. He actually didn't know that Zhao Ping could become so beautiful. After removing the birthmark and the spots on her face, Zhao Ping's skin had also become very fair after taking care of herself. She stood in front of him, slender and elegant. Her appearance was very delicate. Her appearance didn't pale in comparison to Zhao Xinhui's at all. Most importantly, Zhao Ping's skin was very fair, which made her even more beautiful. Qin Yuan looked at her a few more times in disbelief. His eyeballs spun, and he was a little dazed. Zhao Ping couldn't wait any longer. She said to Qin Yuan, Big Brother Yuan. What happened to my face? Why aren't you saying anything? Sigh. I'll just look at it myself. As Zhao Ping said that, she picked up the bronze mirror and looked at her face. After looking at her face, she had the same reaction as Qin Yuan. She couldn't believe that the person in the mirror was her. She was even more beautiful than she had expected. Zhao Ping pinched her own face and muttered, Is this really me? I'm not dreaming, am I? Heavens! She's too beautiful. How can I be so good-looking? Qin Yuan finally reacted. His face was full of smiles as he smiled at Zhao Ping and said, Ping, you're so beautiful. This face was completely different from before. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. Zhao Ping was very excited. Yes, let alone others, even I can't believe it. Big Brother Yuan, am I really not dreaming right now? Qin Yuan shook his head affectionately. No, Pinger, you're not dreaming. This is you. If you didn't have the birthmark and freckles, you would be so beautiful. Zhao Ping admired her own face as if she was admiring a treasure. She even said, No. I'm really too beautiful. I'm about to cry from my own beauty. Big Brother Yuan. No one will call me an ugly girl in the future. Yes. Qin Yuan nodded in agreement. He knew that Zhao Ping's ugly appearance had always troubled her. Now that Zhao Ping's face could be cured, it wasn't an easy task. As long as no one called Zhao Ping an ugly girl, Zhao Ping's mood would definitely be much better. As long as Zhao Ping was happy, he would be gratified. Chapter 2397. Qin Yuan nodded in agreement. To Zhao Ping her face was very important. Since it was Ma Xiaofeng's suggestion that allowed Zhao Ping's face to be cured, then Ma Xiaofeng's kindness was naturally part of it. Let's buy some gifts for Ma Xiaofeng later and repay her properly, Qin Yuan suggested. Zhao Ping nodded heavily. Sure. Big brother Yuan, we have to buy more things for little Feng. I'm so happy. After living for more than 20 years, I actually didn't know that my face could be cured. If I had known earlier, I would have cured it earlier, and I wouldn't have been called an ugly woman for more than 20 years. Zhao Ping was very emotional. She had thought that she could only be like this for the rest of her life, unable to get rid of this ugly face. Now, a miracle had happened. Qin Yuan smiled dotingly. Ping, you can't say that. Even if we knew that it could be cured, we didn't have so much money. Furthermore, if you were born beautiful from the start, we might not have been together. Since God arranged it this way, she must have her reasons. Perhaps she wanted you to wait for me and marry me. After listening to Qin Yuan's analysis, Zhao Ping felt that it made sense. She smiled at Qin Yuan blissfully. Big brother Yuan, you're right. God must have arranged it this way on purpose. It's great now, I'm not ugly anymore. In the future, when I'm with Big brother Yuan, no one will make fun of you for marrying an ugly woman. Of course, the most important thing was that Zhao Ping felt that she had become beautiful, and she was so delicate and pretty. Qin Yuan would definitely not look for other women. In the future, she and Qin Yuan could live happily together for the rest of their lives. Ping, you're so silly. No matter if you've become beautiful or if you're still the same as before, you're still the best in my heart. I don't care what others say, I just want to be with you. Qin Yuan said very affectionately. Zhao Ping's heart was filled with warmth. Looking at the handsome man in front of her, Zhao Ping leaned forward and kissed Qin Yuan on the cheek. She then smiled sweetly and said, Big brother Yuan, you're so nice. Nice to meet you. Hee, Big brother Yuan, I want to go and tell little Feng about such good news right now, Zhao Ping said with an excited look. She didn't know what Ma Xiaofeng's reaction would be when she saw her changed face. How would the other villagers react when they saw her? Many people probably couldn't believe that she had suddenly turned into a beauty. Go ahead. Qin Yuan said with a smile. Yeah. Zhao Ping rushed out of the house and ran towards Ma Xiaofeng's courtyard. At this time, Ma Xiaofeng was also preparing lunch in the courtyard. There was no need to prepare the food. They were all brought back from the restaurant, and they were all meat dishes. It was just that they were a little cold when they were brought back. She was preparing to heat them up now so that she could call her mother and younger brother to eat later. Zhao Ping saw Ma Xiaofeng's figure from afar and suddenly shouted at Ma Xiaofeng, Little Feng, little Feng. Ma Xiaofeng heard Zhao Ping's familiar voice. She raised her head and saw a woman rushing into her courtyard. Although her voice and figure were exactly the same as Zhao Ping's, that face couldn't help but appear. Zhao Ping came in front of Ma Xiaofeng and shouted with a smile, Little Feng, why are you in a daze? Why are you ignoring me? Chapter 2398. Ping. Ping, Jia, is that you? Ma Xiaofeng asked in surprise. Yes, Xiao Feng, it's me. Zhao Ping replied with a smile. Ma Xiaofeng's eyes widened. Although she knew that Zhao Ping had gone to get her face treated, she didn't expect that Zhao Ping would look so beautiful after removing the things on her face. Zhao Ping's current face was even more delicate than hers. Ping, Jia. You've become so beautiful that I almost couldn't recognize you. Ma Xiaofeng said. Is that so? In fact, when I first saw it, I also felt that it was too unbelievable. I can still look so beautiful without the birthmark and spots. Ping, Jia, your luck is really good now. You've opened a restaurant and become rich. The Qin Yuan has also cut off all ties with your aunt and only treats you wholeheartedly. Now, you've become so beautiful. Ma Xiaofeng was a little envious of Zhao Ping. If Ma Xiaofeng hadn't mentioned it, Zhao Ping wouldn't have felt it. After Zhao Ping said it, she thought that it was indeed so. She was really lucky. She had obtained everything that she didn't get before. Moreover, it had only been a few months. It seemed that the heavens were looking after her. They felt that she had suffered too much before, and now they were doing this to compensate her. Zhao Ping held Ma Xiaofeng's hand and said gratefully, "Xiao Feng, I obtained all of this with your help. Thank you so much." If Ma Xiaofeng hadn't talked about doing business, she probably wouldn't have been able to open a restaurant now. Naturally, she wouldn't have had so much money. At that time, Qin Yuan and Zhao Xinhui were having sex in the bushes. If it hadn't been for Ma Xiaofeng's idea, Qin Yuan and Zhao Xinhui wouldn't have had any enmity. She also wouldn't have had a chance to show off. Qin Yuan wouldn't have treated her so sincerely now. As for her face, needless to say, it was Ma Xiaofeng's idea to suggest that she go see a doctor. Otherwise, with her brain, she definitely wouldn't have thought of it. Ma Xiaofeng played a big part in her success today. Ma Xiaofeng smiled. "It's okay, Ping, Jia, you don't have to thank me. You're my good friend. I'm also happy for you to see that you've become better and better." Of course, Ma Xiaofeng only said it on the surface, but she was a little jealous in her heart. Why was it that the lives of the people around her were getting better and better? What about her, other than having some money so that she wouldn't go hungry and could take care of her mother and younger brother? Well, she didn't have anything else. With these material conditions, Ma Xiaofeng realized that what she wanted the most was the care and concern of the person she loved. She was just a girl, supporting a family by herself. Mentally, she was more or less tired. Therefore, she wanted to find a shoulder to lean on. At least, she could lean on it when she was tired. Then, she realized that she had lost the shoulder that she could have leaned on. She wanted to look for it, but unfortunately, she couldn't find it. Ma Xiaofeng took a deep breath and tried hard to suppress her emotions. Zhao Ping was too excited and didn't notice Ma Xiaofeng's strange behavior. Zhao Ping looked at Ma Xiaofeng, touched. "Xiao Feng, you're really the best girl I've ever met." "Ping, Jia, you're being polite with me again." "No. Xiao Feng, I'm just telling the truth. Fortunately, you're here. Everything I have is given to me by you. I'll always remember your kindness." Chapter 2399. Yes, yes. Zhao Ping replied excitedly. Such a good thing should be publicized in the village. In the past, her ugly appearance had been laughed at by the girls in the village. Now that she was out with this face, it was a slap to the faces of those who had laughed at her. With her current appearance, she could definitely crush a large number of girls in the village. At old Zhao's house, the commotion was still ongoing. It was no wonder that the villagers were so concerned about Zhao Tianlong. It was simply too rare for Zhao Tianlong to come in third place in the imperial examinations. Since Shuilan village had produced such a talent, the villagers naturally wanted to join in the fun and understand the situation. At the same time, they wanted to build a good relationship with old Zhao's family. When they went out later, they could even brag about it and gain some face. After Zhao Yun finished preparing the dishes, she began to entertain the officials who had delivered the news. There was no doubt about her culinary skills. This meal was very sumptuous, and everyone was very satisfied. When the officials were about to leave, Zhao Wentao reminded Zhao Baoshan and Zhao Wenshi. Father, second brother, they came all the way to our house to deliver the news. We can't just entertain them with a meal. We have to give them some red packets. Previously, when people from other villages passed the imperial examinations, the officials who delivered the news had to give them 5 taels of silver. This time, Zhao Tianlong came in 3rd place. Old Zhao's family couldn't be too shabby. Not only would it embarrass old Zhao's family, it would also embarrass Zhao Tianlong. Zhao Baoshan nodded, yes, 4th brother is right. We should give them some red packets. Eldest brother, take out whatever money you have. Zhao Wenshi couldn't bear to part with his money, so he said with a bitter face, Father, where do I have any money? Tianhu basically spent all his money when he got married. Also, he split up, so he doesn't have much left. Zhao Wenshi didn't really have any money. He just didn't want to take it out. He knew that even if he didn't pay, it would be the entire old Zhao family's honor for Zhao Tianlong to come in 3rd place. Zhao Baoshan would find a way to raise the money. At that time, how much money did his little sister bring from young Master Meng? She could casually take out more money than he could. Why would she touch his little treasury? After Zhao Baoshan heard this, he frowned and thought for a moment. Just as he was about to ask Hu Chunhua to take out some money, Shen Pan walked over and said to Zhao Wenshi and Zhao Baoshan, Dad, Grandpa, let me take the money. You don't have to make things difficult for me. I don't have any dowry from my maiden family. When Zhao Wenshi heard this, he immediately gave Shen Pan a look, telling her not to take it. Shen Pan was a member of the main branch, so Zhao Wenshi's heart ached when she took out the money. Shen Pan ignored the look in Zhao Wenshi's eyes. She was a little annoyed by the pettiness of the country people. Wasn't it just some money? What was the big deal? Now that Zhao Tianlong came in 3rd place, he was going to be a high-ranking official in the future. How could he worry about not having enough money to spend? Giving more money to the officials who delivered the news was to give Zhao Tianlong some face. She couldn't let others think that Zhao Tianlong's family was too shabby and make a joke out of it. As Zhao Tianlong's wife, Shen Pan took this into consideration and took out the money. Chapter 2400. When Shen Pan reached her room, she took out 10 taels of silver and gave it to the official who delivered the news. 10 taels of silver was quite a lot. After receiving the money, the official who delivered the news happily left. The villagers who came to join in the fun were even more moved by old Zhao's generosity. Pan, when Tianlong comes back, I'll make up for it. Zhao Baoshan said. Shen Pan pulled the corners of her mouth and smiled, it's fine. Tianlong and I are husband and wife. Why would we care so much? When Tianlong becomes an official, what's 10 taels of silver? Shen Pan felt that she wouldn't be like old Zhao and the villagers, who only stared at the little benefits in front of them. Once Tianlong became an official, things would be different with Yi Qian around. When the time came, he would be above everyone else. What couldn't he want? And when she became the wife of an official, not only would she be rich, she would also have an enviable status. Zhao Baoshan chuckled and nodded in agreement, that's right. Pan is right. Once Tianlong becomes an official, our entire old Zhao family will follow suit. What's 10 taels of silver? Father, Tianlong is ambitious. He's made us proud. Haha, that's right. Those officials just now said that Tianlong will be back in 3 or 4 days. Talking about it makes this old man somewhat impatient, wanting to see him earlier. Zhao Baoshan said somewhat impatiently. When Shen Pan heard this, she also couldn't wait. She had been waiting for these past few months. Every day, she missed Tianlong. However, she knew that it was useless even if she missed him. Tianlong prioritized his studies and wanted to pass the imperial examinations. As his wife, she couldn't hold him back. She could only silently wait for him and support him from behind. Waiting for the day when he passed the imperial examinations. Tianlong didn't disappoint her. Not only did he pass the imperial examinations, he even came in third place. This made Shen Pan feel that all her previous efforts were worth it. After enduring for a few months, the remaining 3 or 4 days felt unusually long to Shen Pan. She couldn't wait to see Tianlong return. She had to go to the town to tell her parents about such good news so that they could be happy too. After all, when she had chosen to be with Zhao Tianlong, her parents had been worried. They felt that old Zhao's family was too poor and were afraid that she would suffer after marrying him. As for whether or not Zhao Tianlong would be able to pass, everything was still unknown. If she didn't pass the exam, she could only stay in Shuilon village for the rest of her life and live a poor life. Now that Zhao Tianlong had come in third place, it meant that her decision back then was not wrong. Her parents had made the right bet. Although the Shen family's conditions were indeed quite good, it was somewhat difficult to become the wife of an official. She could only marry Zhao Tianlong early and wait for Zhao Tianlong to pass the exam. Then, she would naturally become the wife of the top scholar. "Father, grandfather, I want to go back to my parents' home this afternoon to tell them the good news," Shen Pan said. Zhao Baoshan smiled and said, "Pan, go ahead. We should inform our in-laws about this joyous occasion and let them be happy too." Yeah. Shen Pan nodded heavily. Her face was full of joy. Then, she turned around and went into the house to prepare the things she needed to prepare. After everything was done, Xiao Yun and her family prepared to go back to rest. From afar, they could see many girls in their teens and 20s in the courtyard of the third branch. Some of them were young married women. Chapter 2401. Xiao Yun was a little confused. Usually, there wouldn't be so many girls gathered in front of their house. Could it be that something happened at home? But she wasn't at home. Could it be that these girls were called over by Zhao Ping? With this doubt, Xiao Yun continued to walk forward. When she reached the courtyard, she finally understood what was going on. It turned out that these people were really called over by Zhao Ping. The reason why they were called over was because of her face. After washing the things on her face, Zhao Ping's face had completely changed. At this time, in the eyes of others, Zhao Ping's appearance was not only not ugly, but also delicate and pretty. Therefore, the girls in the village felt that it was strange, so they gathered at her house and asked her non-stop. They were curious about how Zhao Ping became beautiful. Women were more fond of it, and they all hoped to find Zhao Ping's secret method to see if they could become beautiful like Zhao Ping. Seeing Zhao Ping's changed appearance, Xiao Yun also felt strange. She thought that this woman would only be like this for the rest of her life. She didn't expect that her luck was so good that she could become beautiful under such circumstances. Zhao Ping stood among these women, feeling a little proud. In the past, she felt a little inferior because of her face. Now, Zhao Ping's face was full of confidence. She raised her head and wished that everyone could see her face clearly. Xiao Yun understood Zhao Ping's heart. After being ugly for so long, she suddenly became beautiful. Naturally, she wanted to announce it to the world. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinqiao were a little relieved. No matter what, Zhao Ping was their biological daughter. As parents, they also had a big responsibility to give birth to Zhao Ping, so ugly. Before this, Zhao Ping had complained a lot about them giving birth to her ugly appearance. Now that Zhao Ping could become beautiful, at least she wouldn't blame them in the future. Over the next few days, Zhao Ping went out to show off her beautiful face. Zhao Yun didn't really care about this kind of behavior that didn't affect her. The days passed quickly. Zhao Ping found a suitable house in Yang City and moved in with the people of Qinyuan. Many people envied Zhao Ping for becoming a city dweller in the future and not having to stay in the countryside like other people. As for old Zhao's family, Zhao Tianlong came in third place and returned to old Zhao's house a few days later. Because they were the third in the exam, the top three were all valued by the emperor. When Zhao Tianlong returned to his hometown, he even sent a group of people to escort it back. Zhao Yun was dressed in a red wedding attire with a hat on his head. His attire was similar to that of the top scholar that Zhao Yun had seen on television. He was riding on horseback, and behind him were many people playing gongs and drums. Along the way, he was very eye-catching. As soon as he entered the village, the entire Shui Lan village came out to join in the fun. They wanted to see how the top scholar looked after coming back from the capital. After seeing him, everyone was envious. Sure enough, clothes made the man, and gold made the Buddha. Zhao Tianlong, who was dressed in a red wedding attire, was a little different. Because he came in third place, his face was full of joy and he was in high spirits. Everyone, come and take a look. The top scholar is back. Yes. Everyone, come and take a look. How impressive. So many people were sent back to the village. The top scholar is indeed different. Isn't that obvious? The top three scholars are all valued by the imperial court. They will be high-ranking officials in the future. Finlai is naturally different from the other top scholars. He is very impressive. Chapter 2402. This kind of fortune isn't something that just anyone can have. Old Zhao's family had the blessing of the ancestors, allowing Zhao Tianlong to get third place this year. If he didn't have the blessing of the ancestors, it would be difficult for him to get such a good result. You're right. How many good things have happened to old Zhao's family this year? Normal people wouldn't be able to get it. Not to mention anything else, just the third branch's second daughter, directly marrying the heir and becoming our great Zhou's heir's wife. This is an honor that normal people wouldn't be able to get. There's no point in being envious. We don't have the blessing of the ancestors, so this kind of good thing naturally wouldn't fall on our heads. So, let's not think about it. Right, let's not think about it. When the villagers saw Zhao Tianlong, they all gathered together and began discussing. They were all filled with envy towards old Zhao's family. When old Zhao's family heard that Zhao Tianlong had returned, they all rushed out of their houses and waited in the yard, waiting for Zhao Tianlong. Shen Pan had carefully dressed herself these past few days, just in case Zhao Wenlong suddenly came back. She wanted Zhao Tianlong to see her beautiful appearance, not like the other village women who were sloppy and didn't dress up. It was fine before, but now that Zhao Tianlong had gotten third place, it was different. In the future, he would become a high-ranking official, so she had to maintain her beautiful appearance in order to capture Zhao Tianlong's heart. Otherwise, once a man became rich, who knew if he would be unfaithful and look for younger and more beautiful women? She only wanted Zhao Tianlong to have her and not Zhao Tianlong to have concubines in the future. Shen Pan had a new set of clothes made. It was peach pink, making her skin look white. Adding in some light makeup, she looked even more charming. Shen Pan was quite satisfied with her appearance. After waiting for around a few minutes, Zhao Tianlong's group arrived in front of old Zhao's house. Seeing Zhao Tianlong on the horse, that handsome appearance made Shen Pan's heart beat faster. Although this person was her husband, Shen Pan still revealed a trace of shyness and her face turned red. However, her eyes looking at Zhao Tianlong were still filled with hope. She had waited for so long, and finally, this man had returned. He was in high spirits, which added to his handsomeness. The members of old Zhao's family were similarly overjoyed. Feng Zhangxia could no longer contain her excitement and rushed towards Zhao Tianlong, shouting, "Tianlong, you're finally back. Sky Dragon is back." Zhao Wenshi happily stepped forward and said with a smile, "I've been waiting for the heavens and the earth, but I've finally brought Sky Dragon back. My eldest grandson's aura is indeed extraordinary. One look and I can tell that he's not an ordinary person." Hu Chenhua was grinning from ear to ear, unconsciously praising Zhao Tianlong. When Zhao Tianlong saw his family and heard the envious and praises of the people around him, he felt that he had finally made a name for himself. He raised his chin. This was the first time he had raised his head like this, and it felt great to be a human. Previously, because he was from the countryside and his family wasn't very well off, it was inevitable that he would be teased by his classmates. Most of his classmates were young masters from wealthy families. Only a small number of poor families would send their children to school. Ever since he came in third place in high school, he no longer had to worry about others gossiping about him. He could hold his head high and live an extraordinary life. Zhao Tianlong got off the horse and walked towards old Zhao's family. Chapter 2403. Zhao Tianlong greeted them politely and greeted old Zhao's family members. Zhao Baoshan greeted Zhao Tianlong with a smile. "You must be tired after such a long journey. Come in and have a rest." "Okay." Zhao Tianlong nodded. He was indeed tired after such a long journey. Since returning from the capital, he wanted to report the good news to my family without stopping. Although he knew that old Zhao's family had already received the news, he still wanted to tell them personally. Seeing old Zhao's family members looking at him with pride, Zhao Tianlong was very happy. As a member of old Zhao's family, what he wanted the most was to stand out and make his parents proud of him. For so many years, old Zhao's family had spent a lot of effort on him in order to support his studies. Fortunately, he was third in the examination. As a reward, he did not disappoint old Zhao's family. Because of Zhao Tianlong's return, Zhao Baoshan and Hu Chenhua asked their family members to prepare lunch to treat Zhao Tianlong. Feng Zhangxia looked at her precious son and said with a distressed expression, "Alas, Tianlong is already thin enough. I guess he's been concentrating on studying and not eating these days. It looks like he's lost a lot of weight." As his mother, she felt a little heartache. Hu Chenhua chuckled, "That means that our Tianlong is really focused on his studies. How can he not lose weight when he is so focused on his studies?" However, being third in the examination shows that it is worth it to lose weight. Since he is back home, he will be fine once his body is nourished. Feng Zhangxia nodded, "That's true. We can prepare more delicious food for Tianlong to nourish himself. I estimate that he will be able to recover after half a month or a month." Hu Chenhua said generously, "Eldest daughter-in-law, I still have more than 10 chickens. Go back and catch a few old hens to make chicken soup for Tianlong's child." Feng Zhangxia answered happily, "Okay, I'll go and stew it tomorrow." "Mother, you are really good to Tianlong. He is my precious eldest grandson. If I don't treat him well, who else can I treat well?" Mother, I'll talk to Sky Dragon later. I have to let him remember your kindness and be filial to you in the future." Feng Zhangxia just said a few flattering words, but Hu Chenhua was very happy to hear it. Once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, he would probably be able to send her a lot of good things if he showed a little filial piety. It seemed like she wouldn't have to worry about the rest of her life. Old Zhao's family was quite lucky this year, which was why they had so many happy events. In the afternoon, the whole family gathered together for a lively meal. The third branch was also invited to join them. They gathered together to eat and celebrate Zhao Tianlong's third place in the high school examination. Zhao Tianlong's words were somewhat smug, which made Zhao Yun a little displeased. However, being able to come in third place was indeed something to be happy about and proud of. It was normal for people to be a little arrogant. After all, they were indeed capable. In the afternoon, the few branches of old Zhao's family gathered together to chat. They only dispersed after dinner. Shen Pan looked forward to it for a long time until nighttime. This was because Zhao Tianlong could only say a few intimate words to her after they returned to their room. During the day, there were so many people in old Zhao's house. Moreover, they were all talking to Zhao Tianlong non-stop. It was difficult for her to even say a few words to Zhao Tianlong. Chapter 2404. As she had not seen Zhao Tianlong for a long time, Shen Pan still had a shy look on her face when they were alone. She softly called out to Zhao Tianlong. "Husband." Zhao Tianlong looked at the delicate woman in front of him with a doting smile on his face. He held Shen Pan's hand and asked with a smile, "Husband has been gone for so long. Did you miss me?" Shen Pan shyly lowered her head and her voice was as soft as a mosquito's. "Of course I missed you. Was there a need to ask?" She missed him every day and wished she could see him every day. However, knowing that Zhao Tianlong prioritized his studies, Shen Pan was willing to let Zhao Tianlong make a name for himself in the future even if she missed him more. "I missed you too." Zhao Tianlong smiled and asked about Shen Pan's recent situation. "Pan, did you suffer at home these days?" Shen Pan shook her head. "No, I'm fine." Zhao Tianlong nodded his head in relief. "That's good. I was worried about you and Yang Yang every day in the capital. I don't know how you two are doing in the village. It's a good thing that you're finally back." "Yes." Shen Pan replied, "We don't have to be separated anymore, We won't be separated anymore." Zhao Tianlong walked closer to Shen Pan and wrapped his arms around her waist. Shen Pan let out a low cry and fell into Zhao Tianlong's embrace. Her cheeks blushed for a moment, but she could not wait for Zhao Tianlong's next move. Only the heavens knew how thirsty she was after staying at home for a few months without Zhao Tianlong by her side. Sometimes, she could only solve it herself. However, doing it herself was not as satisfying as doing it with a man. Now that Zhao Tianlong was finally back, he could help her solve her physiological needs. Zhao Tianlong hugged Shen Pan's waist and held the back of her head. He then kissed her deeply on the lips. He was about to suffocate to death. Even though he had been studying for the past few days, sometimes he could use books to divert his attention. However, as a man, his needs in this area were still very important. It was fine if he had never tasted a woman before. After tasting one, his heart would itch whenever he thought about it. After kissing for a few minutes, Zhao Tianlong picked Shen Pan up and threw her onto the bed. Then, he hurriedly took off his and Shen Pan's clothes. He couldn't wait to enter Shen Pan's body and have sex with her. The two of them tossed and turned on the bed for a while, venting all the things that they wanted to vent during this period of time. In the end, both of them lay on the ground, exhausted. Shen Pan leaned into Zhao Tianlong's embrace as her cheeks flushed red. On the other hand, Zhao Tianlong's face was filled with satisfaction. This feeling of release was refreshing. After hesitating for a moment, Zhao Tianlong said to Shen Pan, I actually have something to discuss with you, husband. If you have something to say, just say it. You're a man and my backbone. There are some things that you don't need to discuss with me. You can make your own decisions. Shen Pan said gently. Zhao Tianlong hugged Shen Pan tightly. I know that you've done a lot for me over the years and suffered a lot. With your qualifications, you could have found a better family to marry. However, you were determined to be with me back then. Shenpan smiled. Husband, it's because I like you. As long as I'm with you, it's fine. There's no need for all this. Chapter 2405. Zhao Tianlong gently smiled. Pan, I've seen everything you've done for me. Now that I'm third place in high school, I'll bring you and Yang Yang to live a good life. Yes, yes. Shen Pan nodded her head with a face full of happiness. After enduring for so many years, she had finally made it. From the moment Zhao Tianlong entered high school, it was clear that she was going to live a good life. Fortunately, all the waiting and suffering was worth it. Pan, Now that I'm third place in high school, I didn't rely on my own abilities. Zhao Tianlong hesitated for a moment before speaking in a deep voice. Shen Pan was stunned as she didn't understand the meaning behind Zhao Tianlong's words. Husband. How can you say that? You're already brimming with talent. How could you not rely on yourself to be third place? Could it be that the examiners randomly gave you the results? Zhao Tianlong sighed and slowly opened his mouth. Pan, many things aren't as simple as we think. There are still a lot of dark secrets. Even if it's a science exam, it's still something that can be manipulated by the nobles in the capital. For students from poor families like us, it's not easy to even become a high scholar, let alone the top 3. Shen Pan frowned as she didn't know about this. However, since Zhao Tianlong said this, how did he get into the top 3? This time, I was able to get third place in high school because of Prince Jin's help. Shen Pan was even more confused as she didn't know that Zhao Tianlong was hiding so many secrets behind his high school results. But husband, how did you get to know Prince Jin? He wouldn't help you for no reason, right? What's going on here? Pan, This is also the reason why I wanted to discuss something with you today. Zhao Tianlong was at a loss as he spoke. Shen Pan hurriedly urged, Husband, hurry up and say it, don't stutter. Pan, Zhao Tianlong held Shen Pan's hand. If I say it, I might be a little sorry, but for our future, I hope you can understand me. Shen Pan was a little nervous as Zhao Tianlong's tone didn't sound like it was anything good. Husband, tell me, Pan, Prince Jin really wouldn't help you for no reason. It's because Prince Jin's daughter, Princess Miao Yin, has fallen in love with me. That's why Prince Jin helped me get into the top 3 during the imperial exam. Otherwise, it might have been difficult for me to pass the exam. After getting into the top 3 this time, although he could become an official in the future, the waters in the officialdom were very deep. Without power and background, it was impossible to go up there. With my family background, I can only be a deputy county magistrate at most. It's not easy to become a high-ranking official. But with the help of Prince Jin, in the future, I will be like a fish in water in the officialdom, and be able to become a big official in the capital. After listening for a while, Shen Pan finally understood what was going on. She had initially thought that Zhao Tianlong had relied on his own abilities to become the third in the examination. She had never expected that it was with the help of others. From Zhao Tianlong's words, the reason why Prince Jin appreciated him so much was because of that Princess Miao Yin. Husband, what do you plan to do? Although she knew what Zhao Tianlong was planning to do, Shen Pan still asked unwillingly. Chapter 2406. Pan, because Princess Miao Yin is in love with me, as long as I marry Princess Miao Yin, Prince Jin will be able to help me climb to a higher position in the bureaucracy. In fact, Princess Miao Yin marrying me is considered marrying a lower status. With her status, she can find a better family. As for me, I'm just a poor country boy. If it wasn't for Prince Jin's help, I would be nothing right now. As Zhao Tianlong spoke, he felt that he had wronged Princess Miao Yin. He didn't think about how cold Shen Pan or his heart would be after he said those words. Shen Pan found it difficult to breathe. She tried her best to calm herself down. With a trembling voice, she asked Zhao Tianlong, "But husband, you already have me. You already married me. Don't tell me you still want to marry Princess Miao Yin. She's the one who married and later, do you want to be a concubine?" Zhao Tianlong pulled the corner of his mouth and replied to Shen Pan, this is exactly what I wanted to discuss with you. In fact, it's normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. In the future, when I become a high official, I will definitely take in concubines. With Princess Miao Yin's status, it's impossible for her to be a concubine. Husband, what do you mean? If she can't be a concubine, what can she be? I'm already your wife. Shen Pan continued to ask. Her heart ached. She never thought that one day, Zhao Tianlong would talk to her. What normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines? Zhao Tianlong didn't say that when he married her. Instead, he told her that he would only be good to her for the rest of his life. She just got 3rd place and everything changed. He even threw away his previous vows, as if he had selective amnesia. At this time, she couldn't make a fuss with Zhao Tianlong. The more she made a fuss, the more Zhao Tianlong would dislike her. At that time, Zhao Tianlong wouldn't be able to bear it and would directly abandon her. Shen Pan finally waited for the day when Zhao Tianlong stood out. How could she do such a stupid thing at this time? I know, what I mean is that Princess Miao Yin will marry over. She will be the wife and you will be the concubine. Actually, this was just a title, and there was no need to care about it. Although you're my concubine, it's only in name. I'll still treat you as my first wife and treat you and Yang well. Zhao Tianlong held Shen Pan's hand and put on an affectionate expression. Shen Pan felt like she was about to vomit. When did her beloved husband become such a person? Did he take her for a fool? He wanted her to be a concubine and then said that he would treat her and her child well. Probably only a stupid woman would believe that. Once she became a concubine in name, she would be a lowly concubine that couldn't be seen in public. Even Yang was a bastard and would be looked down upon in the future. She had sacrificed so much for him over the years and had waited so long for this day to come. However, Zhao Tianlong had treated her in such a manner, which made her feel bitterly disappointed. Zhao Tianlong, for the sake of his future, chose to abandon her without any hesitation. Shen Pan's tears flowed uncontrollably from the corners of her eyes. When Zhao Tianlong saw this, he hurriedly wiped away the tears at the corner of Shen Pan's eyes and comforted her gently. What's wrong? Don't cry. Her husband's heart would ache. Chapter 2407. When Shen Pan heard this, she asked, "Husband, is there really no other way other than marrying Princess Miao Yin? If you're willing to see me continue to stay in this desolate place without any hopes of becoming outstanding, then you don't have to marry her. But if you want to live a prosperous life and let Yang enjoy everything, then you have to marry her. There's no other way. For Princess Miao Yin to take a fancy to a poor boy like me is my great fortune. If it was an ordinary person, how could they have met her? Furthermore, I've told Princess Miao Yin about you and Dowdy's existence. She's more willing to accept you. Do you know how difficult this is?" Zhao Tianlong's tone was deep. Shen Pan frowned and fell silent. She was also struggling in her heart. On one hand, she wasn't willing to let her man be snatched away by another woman. On the other hand, she didn't want to see everything return to the starting point when she was about to get what she wanted. She had enough of the bitter life in the countryside and didn't want to continue enduring it. Zhao Tianlong held Shen Pan's hand even tighter. As if he was making a promise to her, he said, Pan, I know I've wronged you, but I'll make it up to you and Yang Yang in the future. I won't let the two of you suffer any grievances. If you can become an official in the capital, you'll be able to enjoy everything. You've suffered so much with me. Don't you want to enjoy it? Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for Yang Yang. From now on, he'll be the son of a high official and not an ordinary country boy. When he grows up, he'll be able to study and become an official. He won't have to study as hard as me to pass the imperial examinations. It's all too difficult, I just want the two of you to live well. Hearing Zhao Tianlong's words, Shen Pan was somewhat moved. Zhao Tianlong was right. Even if she didn't think for herself, she had to think for Yang Yang. Who would be willing to stay in a desolate place like the countryside? Even if he was a bastard, the bastard son of a high official was still much better than the average person. He would be able to enjoy even more. After some consideration, Shen Pan didn't dare to make a fuss with Zhao Tianlong even though she was very sad. Instead, she chose to agree. Actually, what could she do if she didn't agree? It would only make the final result worse. Judging from Zhao Tianlong's current attitude, Zhao Tianlong would not be willing to give up such a good opportunity. Which man didn't want to be outstanding and have a meteoric rise? If she persisted, she was afraid that Zhao Tianlong would simply divorce her. At that time, she would be nothing, let alone a concubine. If she was chased back to her maiden home, she would only be laughed at. If she agreed now, it would not cause Zhao Tianlong to kick up a fuss. Instead, it would make Zhao Tianlong feel guilty towards her, and he would not treat them too badly in the future. As for men, how many of them didn't like virtuous and sensible women? Shen Pan leaned against Zhao Tianlong's chest and said softly, Husband, I'm willing to do anything for you. Even if I become your concubine in the future, I will not complain. As long as you can become a high-ranking official in the future, it's fine as long as you have a promising future. You are my man and my sky. I will support you in everything you do and stand by your side. On the surface, Shen Pan and Zhao Tianlong were saying such affectionate words. However, her heart had already been severely hurt by Zhao Tianlong and she would never trust this man again. Chapter 2408. Zhao Tianlong was touched by Shen Pan's words. He hugged Shen Pan tightly and said, Pan you're the best. In my heart, you'll be a good wife for life. As long as I'm here, I guarantee that you'll enjoy the best in the future and become the happiest woman. Shen Pan pursed her lips and agreed with a smile. However, she did not believe Zhao Tianlong's words. Men were all pigs. They only made a few promises and forgot about them in the blink of an eye. Zhao Tianlong had said these words countless times before. Now, he was still going to marry another woman for his own future and forget about his vows. She had to start planning properly now. She had to grab hold of what she should get and what she should fight for. The two of them lay on the bed and slowly fell asleep. The next day, old Zhao's house was as lively as usual. The news of Zhao Tianlong coming in third place had spread throughout Yang City. After Zhao Tianlong returned, the nearby villages and influential people all came to congratulate old Zhao's house. Because he came in third place in the exam, and because of the capital, he was going to be a high-ranking official in the future. These people naturally came to curry favor with him. The more connections one made, the easier it would be to do things in the future. Especially the powerful squires, they had made friends with a lot of influential people. Even the district magistrate personally came to old Zhao's house to congratulate old Zhao. For a time, old Zhao's house was very popular. Because these people came with gifts, the first branch received so many gifts that their hands went limp. Old Zhao's house also warmly welcomed these people who came to congratulate them. After a few days of excitement, almost all the influential people in Yang City came. The gifts they received filled the entire house. After counting them, these things were estimated to be worth a lot of money. Therefore, the first branch, Hu Chunhua, and Zhao Baoshan's faces were filled with smiles for the next few days. This was only the beginning. When Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, there would be even more. Under Zhao Baoshan's arrangement, a banquet was prepared for Zhao Tianlong. There was no need for the villagers to send money over. They directly held a banquet and invited the villagers to eat to their heart's content. Obviously, this was old Zhao's family's generosity. Actually, it wouldn't cost much to prepare a banquet, buy some ingredients, and hire a chef. Any one of those gifts would be enough to pay for a banquet. Although old Zhao's family was usually stingy, they weren't stingy when it came to important matters. These days, Zhao Tianhu and the rest of old Zhao's family were in a different mood. In the beginning, Zhao Tianhu was also very happy when Zhao Tianlong came in third place. However, his mood slowly turned gloomy. After Jin Ju noticed Zhao Tianhu's strange behavior, she asked with concern, "Husband, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so gloomy these days? Everyone's so happy, but you're pulling a long face. Husband, are you feeling unwell somewhere?" Zhao Tianhu shook his head. "No, then what's wrong? Husband, what's wrong with you? Tell me." Jin Ju went forward and held Zhao Tianhu's hand. Zhao Tianhu looked up at Jin Ju and sighed. Actually, it's nothing. Ju I just feel that I'm so useless." Chapter 2409. Zhao Tianhu shook his head and said gloomily, "What's the big deal about working? It's all physical work. How can it be considered a skill? If this isn't a skill, then what is?" "Husband, you're capable because you can work. There are so many men in our village who can't do it." Jin Ju hurriedly comforted him. Zhao Tianhu sighed heavily, "Ju even if I work hard, I can only stay in the countryside for the rest of my life. If I can't make a lot of money, I'll bring you to a better life." Zhao Tianhu seemed very depressed, and there was a touch of guilt in his tone. Jin Ju frowned and pondered for a few seconds. She finally figured out the reason for Zhao Tianhu's depression. She guessed that Zhao Tianhu was so depressed because Zhao Tianlong came in third place in the high school exam. The two of them were brothers, but Zhao Tianlong stood out. He could only be like an ordinary villager. The huge gap between the two of them made Zhao Tianhu feel inferior. Jin Ju held Zhao Tianhu's hand and said with a smile, "Husband, what's wrong with staying in the countryside? I think it's very comfortable. Although we're not rich now, we don't have to worry about food and drink. Moreover, you're working so hard. Our lives are getting better and better. I believe that as long as we continue to work hard, we'll slowly get what we want. Sometimes you don't have to pursue so much. How many people can get a real life of wealth?" Zhao Tianhu looked up at Jin Ju. Jin Ju's smile had a calming effect. His heavy heart suddenly felt a lot better. Jin Ju held his hand and continued, "Husband, don't think so much. For me, as long as you're by my side, I don't think about how much I can eat or wear. As long as you love me, it's more important than anything else." Ju Zhao Tianhu looked at Jin Ju, very touched. With a wife like this, what else could he ask for? "Well, husband, no matter what, you have to be happy. Don't think so much, okay? If father and mother saw this, they would think that you are jealous of big brother." Yes. Zhao Tianhu nodded heavily. Zhao Yuner heard the conversation between the two people and also felt that Zhao Tianhu did not marry the wrong person. If it were those women who liked to compare themselves to others, they would inevitably complain about their own men when they saw that their brothers had become outstanding. Actually, if two people loved each other and worked hard, they would definitely be able to live a good life. Sometimes, being ordinary was the true happiness. When a family was together, they loved each other dearly. Even a simple meal was better than delicacies. However, even if they lived in the countryside, they still needed to have a certain level of security. They couldn't live too poorly and had to earn some money. Zhao Yun suggested to Zhao Tianhu and Jin Ju that the two of them could set up a stall in the town to sell for money. Just like before, he sold breakfast. Although the income was not much, it was definitely better than farming in the countryside. There was still an income of a few taels of silver a month. As for making breakfast, the two of them might not know how to do it. Zhao Yun could teach them. It didn't take much time to learn. Jin Ju and Zhao Tianhu were very interested. It was a happy thing to be able to earn money with their own hands. This was especially true for long-term, stable income. Chapter 24:10. Zhao Yun happened to be free these few days and took a few days to teach Jin Ju and Zhao Tianhu a few ways to prepare breakfast. They only needed to sell some dumplings and buns. There was no need for too many types. When the business was better, they could slowly add more. There was no need to prepare so many breakfasts in the beginning. If they couldn't sell, the more they prepared, the more losses they would incur. After Jin Ju and Zhao Tianhu learned, they excitedly prepared for the breakfast stalls business. They had much more to look forward to in the future. The two of them were hardworking. In addition, the breakfast that Zhao Yun taught them was very tasty. Soon, business picked up. At the end of the day, they were able to earn a few hundred copper coins. At the very least, they could earn 100 copper coins a day. It was much better than working. If they were purely working, they probably wouldn't even earn 50 copper coins a day. Their usual wages were only 20 to 30 copper coins. 40 copper coins a day was something that could only be found by chance. The couple's life gradually got on track. Zhao Yun's casual suggestion improved their lives and gave them a goal to strive for. They were very happy. Zhao Tianlong didn't stay in old Zhao's house for long. After a few days, he returned to the capital and waited for the imperial court to arrange a position for him. He would be an official in the capital in the future. The eldest branch didn't follow Zhao Tianlong. Instead, they waited for him to settle down in the capital before bringing them over. The eldest branch happily waited in the village. Not long after, good news came from the capital. Zhao Tianlong had become an assistant minister of the Ministry of Justice at such a young age. For any country bumpkin without any background, it wasn't easy. Old Zhao's family was overjoyed. Being an official in the capital was much better than being a deputy in Yang City. Furthermore, Zhao Tianlong was still young. He could continue to be promoted in the future. His future was limitless. After Zhao Tianlong settled down in the capital, he didn't bring old Zhao's family over. Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi were puzzled. They were discussing why Zhao Tianlong didn't bring them over to live a good life. Although Zhao Tianlong had sent people to deliver many good things back to old Zhao's house, it was still different from bringing them over to enjoy life. At their age, they had never seen what the capital looked like, nor had they lived in a big house. They couldn't wait to move into Zhao Tianlong's residence in the capital so that they could live the life of an old master and an old madam. Even Hui Chunhua was looking forward to Zhao Tianlong bringing her over to enjoy life together. They waited longer and longer. They waited for a bunch of good news, but there was still no news about them being picked up. Hui Chunhua couldn't help but ask Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi, "What do you think is wrong with Tianlong? It's been so long." He said that he would bring us over once he was done. Why is there still no sign of him? Did he forget about us? Feng Zhangxia frowned and was equally depressed. Mother, how would I know? I can't wait to move there too. The capital is a big, bustling place. I'm tired of staying in this small village. You're anxious. I'm even more anxious than you. Zhao Wenshi sighed. Compared to Feng Zhangxia and Hu Chunhua, he was calmer. Mother, I think Tianlong has just been appointed and has a lot of things to do. Chapter 24:11. Hu Chunhua snorted, hee hee, it's not like we'll be in his way if we go over. If he doesn't have the time to pick us up, wouldn't he send someone over? I don't think he has the heart to do that. If he really cared about us, he would have picked us up long ago. Feng Zhangxia felt a little stifled after hearing Hu Chunhua's words. She also felt that it was strange for Zhao Tianlong to drag things out for so long without picking them up. Only the heavens knew how much they wanted to leave this rundown village and enjoy life in the capital. During this period of time, when he heard those people's compliments in the village, he felt a little smug. The villagers were very envious of them for being able to live in a big house in the future, eat and drink well, and have people to serve them. They would live much more comfortably than the rich people in town. Feng Zhangxia was eager to go to the capital because of the villagers' flattery. Other than living a life of being served, she wanted to see the prosperity of the capital. Feng Zhangxia was silent for a few seconds before discussing with Hu Chunhua and Zhao Wenshi, mother, Tianlong's father. Since Tianlong didn't come back to pick us up or send someone to pick us up, why don't we go to the capital ourselves? Maybe Tianlong is really too busy and forgot about us. If we go there ourselves, he won't have to waste his time to pick us up. Hu Chunhua thought for a while and felt that Feng Zhangxia's suggestion was feasible. If they went there themselves, Zhao Tianlong wouldn't chase them away. This way, they could live in the capital sooner. Thinking about the future, Hu Chunhua couldn't wait and said, eldest daughter-in-law, this is a good idea. Then let's take the initiative to go to the capital. Let's not dawdle. Since we've decided, let's do it tomorrow. Let's pack our things and go there. Zhao Wenshi thought about it. Since Feng Zhangxia and Hu Chunhua had said so, he had no reason to object. He nodded and agreed, all right. Mother, the capital is quite a distance away. How are we going to get there? Feng Zhangxia's eyes turned as she asked. Take a carriage. We can't possibly walk such a long way, otherwise, who knows how long it'll take. Hu Chunhua replied. Thinking about it, this old woman's legs were not nimble. If they really walked such a long distance, he would probably be half dead by the time they reached the capital. Feng Zhangxia thought about it and agreed. For such a long journey, they could only take a carriage. It was impossible to walk, and the speed of the ox cart was too slow. He didn't know how many days it would take to reach the capital. Moreover, every single thing that provided shelter from the wind and rain made sitting on the ox cart uncomfortable. Taking a carriage was the best choice. It was fast and comfortable. However, the distance from Shuilon village to the capital was so far. If she rented a carriage, it would probably cost a lot of money. She was a little reluctant. Thinking that Zhao Yun'er's family had a carriage, she said to Hu Chunhua, Mother, I'll go to the third branch and discuss with Yun'er. Let's see if Yun'er can send us to the capital in a carriage tomorrow. If she spoke properly, in case Zhao Yun'er agreed, they would save a lot of money. Although Zhao Tianlong was now a high-ranking official, Feng Zhangxia's habit of taking advantage of others had been for decades. She was used to it and couldn't change it in such a short time. Hu Chunhua nodded, eldest daughter-in-law, then you can go. Chapter 24:12. From afar, Feng Zhangxia's loud voice rang out, Yuner lass, Yuner lass. At this moment, Zhao Yuner was playing with the two children. Now that Tian Tian had grown up for a few months, she could slowly crawl on the ground. Zhao Yuner laid out a big cushion on the ground, allowing Tian Tian to crawl around. Although Tian Tian was a little girl, her character was like a boy. She liked to be noisy and couldn't stop for a moment. With one look, one could tell that she would be a lively little girl when she grew up. Zhao Yuner didn't particularly like children who were very sensible and quiet. Sometimes, she felt that it was a good thing for children to be a little naughty and noisy. After all, children were born to be restless, so it was normal for them to be restless. When they were young, they should be allowed to release their natural instincts and grow up happily. When they grew up, they could also recall the happy memories of their childhood. Hearing Feng Zhangxia's anxious voice, Zhao Yuner felt that something bad was going to happen. Every time Feng Zhangxia came to her house, wasn't it to ask for help? Zhao Yuner was a little fed up with this eldest aunt. However, she still suppressed her temper and looked at Feng Zhangxia, asking, "What's the matter, eldest aunt?" Feng Zhangxia smiled and said somewhat embarrassedly, "Yuner lass, eldest aunt wants to ask for your help." Zhao Yuner had a look of understanding. "What is it?" "That. Yuner lass, it's like this. Eldest uncle, eldest aunt, and your grandmother want to go to the capital tomorrow to look for your eldest cousin brother. Your eldest cousin brother is an official in the capital and has been too busy recently to come back to pick us up. We thought that going there ourselves would save him the trouble. However, the journey to the capital is too far, so we were wondering if you could use your family's carriage to send us there. This round trip will only take a few days. Otherwise, we won't be able to get there." After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, Zhao Yuner's lips curled into a sneer. Sure enough, they were thick-skinned enough to come up with such a good idea. Unless she was a fool, she wouldn't send this family to the capital. A round trip would probably take 4 to 5 days. Not to mention that her body would not be able to take the fatigue from the long journey. Who knew if a woman like her would encounter any danger on her way back from the capital? This Feng Zhangxia only thought about her own benefits and did not care about the lives of others. Seeing that Zhao Yuner did not speak, Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and smiled embarrassedly. "Yuner girl, eldest aunt knows that you are a good person with a kind heart, so I will definitely not reject you. When we get back to the capital, I'll have your eldest cousin brother thank you properly. By the way, the capital is definitely more prosperous than Yang City. We can see the world together, don't you think?" After hearing Feng Zhangxia's words, Zhao Yun's sneer deepened. "Auntie, to tell you the truth, I've already been to the capital once. I don't need to see the world again." Feng Zhangxia was stunned, then pursed her lips and said, "I see. Then Yuner girl, just treat it as helping eldest aunt. Eldest aunt, you know that my mother is pregnant and I have to take care of her at home. How can I find the time to send you all over? Moreover, I have 2 children to take care of, especially Tian Tian, who is still young and can't be separated from me. A trip to the capital will take a few days of fatigue, and my little body won't be able to take it." Chapter 24:13. After hearing Zhao Yuner's words, Feng Zhangxia was too embarrassed to ask Zhao Yuner to send them over. Feng Zhangxia's heart ached when she thought about how much money it would cost to rent a carriage. "Yuner, just pretend that eldest aunt didn't say anything." Feng Zhangxia resentfully replied and then left the 3rd branch's courtyard. Zhao Yuner continued to take care of the baby. When she didn't have a child, she didn't know how hard it was to take care of a child. After taking care of Tian Tian, Zhao Yuner realized that taking care of a child was really not easy. She didn't have to take care of the baby all day long. There were many people in the family, and everyone helping out could reduce a lot of the burden. But in the 21st century, Bao Ma was more or less taking care of the baby alone. There was no room to breathe. When the baby in Liang Jinxiao's belly was born, there would be another member of the family. Then, there would be more work to do. When it was almost lunchtime, Xiao Yuner went to the kitchen to prepare food. During this period of time, there were many people eating together at noon because of the pigsty, so she had to prepare more food. However, the pigsty was built very quickly and it was almost done. Now, they were just finishing up the work and enclosing a yard. When it was done, they would be able to buy some piglets to raise pigs. The tea on the mountain was almost finished with Zhu Eru and Mulan's work. They would be able to pick new tea leaves next year. There was no need to worry about the sales of the tea leaves. Previously, when the emperor stayed at her house for a period of time, he couldn't leave the tea leaves. It was a pity that Xiao Yuner didn't have a lot of tea leaves in her hands. Otherwise, the emperor would definitely bring a large batch back to the capital. When she had new tea leaves next year, she would have to send a large batch to the palace. If tea was popular in the palace, the princes and nobles would naturally compete to buy tea leaves. As a result, the whole of China started to drink tea. Her tea leaves wouldn't have to worry about sales. As for the future, everything was beautiful. She didn't have to worry about food and clothing. She would live a leisurely and comfortable life. She probably didn't even dream of living in the 21st century. During this period of time, the weather was getting colder and colder. It was estimated that it was the beginning of winter and they had to wear jackets to keep out the cold. In old Zhao's house, the first branch and Hu Chunhua couldn't wait to rent a carriage the next day and rushed to the capital. Zhao Baoshan did not accompany them. Instead, he advised them to wait at home for Zhao Tianlong to personally send someone to pick them up. Otherwise, who knew what Zhao Tianlong was up to and whether or not he would cause trouble for Zhao Tianlong. Unfortunately, no matter how much Xiao Baoshan tried to persuade them, he couldn't stop them. Thus, he had no choice but to let them go. Feng Zhangxia, Xiao Wenshi, and Hu Chunhua finally arrived at the capital after a bumpy ride in the carriage for 2 days. Compared to Sun City, although the businesses here were not as lively as Sun City, there were many magnificent buildings. The mansions were grand and magnificent, something that Sun City could never compare to. At the end of the day, the capital was right under the emperor's feet. There were more high-ranking officials and nobles, so the residences in Yang City were bigger. As long as they were officials, they wouldn't do too badly. Once they arrived at the capital, Feng Zhangxia, Xiao Wenshi, and Hu Chunhua stuck their heads out of the carriage and looked outside. Hu Chunhua hadn't been to Sun City many times. Thus, when she saw the prosperity of the capital, she couldn't help but sigh. Tisk, tsk, tsk. The capital is really different. It looks so much better than our countryside. No wonder everyone wants to come and live here. It's really good. Chapter 24:14. Tsk Tsk Tsk, Tianlong is really capable to be able to establish himself in such a place. Our old Zhao family didn't give birth to such a promising grandson for nothing. Hu Chunhua sighed. That's right, mother, the capital is so good. We can live here in the future and enjoy ourselves. Look at how big the houses of these officials are. That's right. That's great. This old woman has never seen such a big house in her life. I reckon that Tianlong's house is much bigger than third brother's house. Feng Zhangxia covered her mouth and laughed. Mother, do you even need to say that? Third brother and third sister-in-law's house is considered big in our village, but look at the capital, which house isn't bigger than third brother and third sister-in-law's house? Hu Chunhua nodded in agreement. That's true. There's always someone better than you. If you don't go out and see the world, you won't know how good the outside world is. Luckily Tianlong is promising and came to the capital to be a high-ranking official. Otherwise, we might not have come to the capital in this lifetime. Feng Zhangxia said with pride on her face. Perhaps the most bragging thing in his life was giving birth to Zhao Tianlong. How could an ordinary person give birth to a third-place scholar? Hu Chunhua patted Feng Zhangxia's hand and sighed, our old Zhao family only has Tianlong, and this child is the most promising. Your father and eldest brother's decision back then was right. Luckily, Tianlong was studying. Now that Tianlong has made a name for himself, we should let him be filial to his parents and nurture him. If you didn't spend money on him, he wouldn't have made a name for himself. I know Tianlong's character, he's a filial child. The few of them chatted as they walked into the inner area of the capital. They didn't know where Zhao Tianlong lived. After all, this was their first time in the capital. However, they asked around on the streets for the location of this year's third-place scholar. Soon, they found Zhao Tianlong's residence in the capital. The few of them drove the horse carriage and soon arrived at Zhao Tianlong's residence. The carriage stopped in front of the gate of the mansion. Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia got off the carriage first, then helped Hu Chunhua down. Mother, we're here. Hu Chunhua replied with a smile. She raised her head to look at Zhao Tianlong's residence and sighed, boss wife, is this where Tianlong lives? Feng Zhangxia nodded and said, Mother, he said so it should be true. Hu Chunhua squinted her eyes as she sized up Zhao Tianlong's residence and sighed, tsk. This residence is really big. How comfortable would it be to live in it? Mother, it's useless for us to just think about it. We'll only know when we move in. Let's go in now. Feng Zhangxia urged impatiently. Okay. Hu Chunhua answered happily. She couldn't wait any longer. The few of them had never seen the world and directly walked into the residence. When they reached the gate, they were stopped by the guards at the gate. What do you want? The guard asked coldly. Feng Zhangxia smiled and said, Little brother, I'm your Lord Zhao's mother. I'm here to look for your Lord Zhao. Hu Chunhua put her hands on her waist and said, I'm your Lord Zhao's grandmother. Don't be so long-winded. Hurry up and get out of our way. I want to go in and look for my eldest grandson. Chapter 24:15. Especially Feng Zhangxia, Zhao Wenshi, and Hu Chunhua. They were dressed poorly and looked like country bumpkins. They did not have the imposing manner of Lord Zhao's family. They might even be beggars who came here to play. How could these country bumpkins be allowed to act so impudently in a place like this? The guard impatiently chased them away. Go, hurry up and leave. Don't make a ruckus in front of our gate. Hu Chunhua was a little angry. She pointed at the guard and scolded, How can a servant like you be so rude? I already said that I am your Lord Zhao's biological grandmother, yet you treat me like this. Be careful that I don't let your Lord Zhao skin you alive. Feng Zhangxia was also a little displeased. I am here to find my son, why are you stopping me from entering? The guard's temper was not very good either. He angrily replied, Do you think I will believe whatever you say? Lord Zhao is of noble status, you are just a few ordinary country bumpkins. If you are really Lord Zhao's relatives, why wouldn't he personally send someone to bring you here? Why would he need you to send yourself here? Hu Chunhua rolled up her sleeves. She was angered by the guard. Sigh, what are you saying, you stinking brat? If we are not real, then are we fake? Where is your proof? Do you think we are just because you say so? I advise you to hurry up and get lost. Don't make a ruckus in front of the gate. Otherwise, I will not be polite. As he spoke, the guard pulled out his sword and threatened. Hu Chunhua, Zhao Wenshi, and Feng Zhangxia were all shocked. From the looks of it, they were really not allowed to enter. They did not think much before coming to the capital. Who knew that they would encounter such trouble after coming here? If they could not enter, how were they going to find Zhao Tianlong and live in this large residence? Feng Zhangxia suppressed her temper and smiled fawningly at the guard. Little brother, please don't be angry. We are really Lord Zhao's relatives. How about this? I will have to trouble you to go in and inform your Lord Zhao to come out and see me. Then, the truth will be revealed. The guard at the door waved his hand impatiently. Go, go, go. Our Lord Zhao is not in the manor, so he can't report to you. Besides, even if he was here, it wouldn't work. The three of you look so poor. How are you Lord Zhao's relatives? Why would Lord Zhao come out to meet him so casually? Where did Lord Zhao get his skills from? The three of them were at their wits' end. Since they were trying to stop them from entering, they couldn't just force their way in. However, he was unwilling to leave just like that. After 2 bumpy days, he finally arrived at the capital. No matter what, he had to find Zhao Tianlong and meet up with him before moving into the mansion. Otherwise, wouldn't all their hard work these past few days be in vain? Zhao Wenshi frowned and asked, Hey, what should we do now? Was he really going to let it go? Are we going back now? That won't do. Hu Chunhua pursed her lips. It wasn't easy for us to come here, and now we have to go back. Not only is it tiring, we'll probably be laughed at by the villagers when we go back. Everyone in the village knows that we came to the capital. Feng Zhangxia sighed and said with a frown, Oh. What should I do? It wasn't easy for us to come to the capital, but we can't see Tianlong. Really? Why don't we just wait here in the mansion? Tianlong will pass by the main gate when he goes out or comes back. When that time comes, won't it be fine if he sees us? Chapter 24:16. Alright. Let's wait for Tianlong to arrive. After the three of them discussed, they sat down at a corner in front of Zhao Tianlong's residence and waited quietly. As they were tired from the long journey, they did not care about the dirt on the ground and sat down. When passers-by saw them, they thought that they were beggars, and some kind-hearted people even gave them a few coins. After waiting for a long time, they finally saw a luxurious horse carriage stop in front of the residence. A man's figure came out of the horse carriage. He was dressed in official robes and wore an official's hat, looking very imposing. At first, Zhao Wenshi and the other two did not recognize him. However, after taking a closer look, they realized that it was Zhao Tianlong. Zhao Tianlong, who was dressed in official robes, had a noble aura around him. He was different from the poor and destitute people who studied in the countryside. After that, another woman came out of the horse carriage. The woman was not old, slightly younger than Zhao Tianlong. The clothes she was wearing were very beautiful. One look and one could tell that it was made of expensive silk. The embroidery on it was even more exquisite. Some of the accessories on her head were made of gold. She gave off a graceful and luxurious feeling. The woman's appearance was also very outstanding. She was much more beautiful than the women in the countryside. Only this could be called a great beauty. As Zhao Tianlong carefully helped the woman down, a gentle smile appeared on his face. Zhao Wenshi quickly rushed over to Feng Zhangxia and Hu Chunhua. Tianlong is back, Tianlong is back. Hu Chunhua and Feng Zhangxia were originally sleepy. However, when they heard Zhao Wenshi's shout, they immediately became energetic. Back? Yes. It really is Tianlong. Let's hurry over. Hu Chunhua quickly got up from the ground and ran towards Zhao Tianlong. Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia followed closely behind. Hu Chunhua happily shouted, Tianlong, your grandmother and your parents are back. Hu Chunhua was used to her loud voice in the countryside, so she didn't care about the occasion at all. She thought it was the same as in the countryside. Hearing Hu Chunhua's voice, Zhao Tianlong looked towards Hu Chunhua and frowned. His eyes were filled with disdain and displeasure. However, Zhao Tianlong was not in a position to flare up, so he could only control his emotions. When Hu Chunhua arrived in front of them, Zhao Tianlong asked in a deep voice, "Grandmother, father, mother, why are you here? Why didn't you tell me before coming over? I didn't even know." Hu Chunhua smiled. "Tianlong, you said that you would bring us here after we settled down in the capital, but we waited in the countryside for a long time and you didn't come to pick us up. We wondered if you were too busy and forgot about us, so we took the carriage to the capital to save you the trouble of sending someone back." The corner of Zhao Tianlong's mouth twitched. Actually, he purposely didn't pick up Hu Chunhua and the rest. Originally, he was born in the countryside, but when he became an official in the capital, he was looked down upon by many nobles. If it wasn't for Prince Jin's help, he probably wouldn't have been able to continue living in the capital, much less become the assistant minister of the Ministry of Justice. If he brought his parents and Hu Chunhua and the rest to the capital, with their temperament as country bumpkins, he didn't know how many jokes they would make. He was someone who cared about his reputation, so he didn't want them to embarrass him. Before he established himself, he couldn't withstand too much mockery and ridicule. Chapter 24:17. Who would have thought that instead of sending someone to pick them up, his parents actually came to the capital by themselves? At this moment, Zhao Tianlong's situation is extremely awkward. It's not good to let Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxi go back, but it's also not good to not let them go back. Zhao Tianlong frowns and doesn't say a word. Zhao Wenshi also mutters, "Tianlong, you've been busy these days. Father, mother, grandfather, and grandmother have all been waiting for you at home for a long time. But it's fine, we came here on our own. The residence that the imperial court arranged for you is really good, it's really big. Look at how imposing this residence is, we can live in it in the future. Hurry up and bring us in to take a look. Your grandmother has been running around for 2 days. She's already so old and is different from young people. Her bones can't withstand the torment." Zhao Tianlong awkwardly stands there, not knowing how to respond. The woman beside Zhao Tianlong, Princess Miao Yin, frowns when she sees Zhao Wenshi, Feng Zhangxia, and Hu Chunhua. She asks, "Tianlong, these are your father, mother, and grandmother?" Princess Miao Yin's tone reveals a trace of disbelief. What she couldn't figure out was that Zhao Tianlong looked gentle and refined, and was also very cultured. How can such an outstanding man have such vulgar relatives like Hu Chunhua and Zhao Wenshi? Just listening to their tone and the content of their conversation, Princess Miao Yin can't stand it. They are completely like country bumpkins who have never seen the world. If she were to live with such people in the future, she would go crazy. Without waiting for Zhao Tianlong to reply, Feng Zhangxi chuckles and steps forward. "That's right, we used Tianlong's father and mother. This lady, what's your relationship with our families, Tianlong? You look really beautiful, your identity shouldn't be simple, right? Could it be that you're good friends with our families, Tianlong?" Zhao Tianlong gently tugs at Feng Zhangxia's sleeve. "Mother, what are you doing?" Feng Zhangxia smiles embarrassedly and replies, "Mother is just concerned about you," and casually asked, "Tianlong, quickly tell me, who is this lady? What's her relationship with you?" Zhao Tianlong didn't know what to say, but he still had to tell his family about this. Although Princess Miao Yin was a little disgusted with Zhao Wenshi and the other two, she endured it for the sake of Zhao Tianlong's family. She smiled and introduced herself to Feng Zhangxia. "I'm Sky Dragon's wife." "Ah." Feng Zhangxia opened her mouth wide, her face full of shock. Why did this woman say that she was Zhao Tianlong's wife? Sky Dragon has already married a wife and is now at old Zhao's house. It was not as if he was afraid that Yang Yang would not be able to withstand the torment due to her young age. He had probably brought her along with him on this trip. Why did Zhao Tianlong suddenly have another wife? Why did she have another daughter-in-law? That Sky Dragon. What's going on? When did you marry another one? Does Pan know about this? Tianlong. Mother is confused by you. What have you been doing in the capital these days? Zhao Tianlong's face was gloomy. There was no way to hide it, so he could only say, Mother, Pan already knows about this. Your new daughter-in-law is the current princess. If not for her, I would not have come third in the imperial examinations, much less become an official in the capital. Miao Yin and I just got married a few days ago. Now, she's my wife. Chapter 24:18. If they hadn't come to the capital personally, they wouldn't have known about this matter. At first, they thought that Zhao Tianlong's third place in the exam was just that, but they didn't expect there to be such a trick behind it. Zhao Wenshi asked in confusion, Tianlong, you're really something. Why didn't you inform your family about such a big matter? Even if it's a wedding, the parents have to be present. First, bow to heaven and earth, then bow to the parents. The parents weren't present, so what did you bow to? Thinking about it carefully, Zhao Wenshi was still a little angry. A child's marriage was a big matter. No matter what, it should be discussed with the parents. It wasn't that they disagreed, but the parents weren't present for such a big matter. It was fine if they weren't present, but they didn't even receive any news. Wasn't this showing that they didn't take them seriously? Father, Mother, Shuilan village is so far away, and the wedding was arranged in a hurry. We didn't have time to invite you over, please forgive us. The parents we bowed to were Miao Yin's father, Prince Jin. Zhao Wenshi snorted, a little unhappy, that won't do. Your parents didn't know and didn't come. I say, Tianlong, don't tell me you want to marry into their family and become a live-in son-in-law. It wasn't easy to raise his son, and he was his pride. If he married into their family and became a live-in son-in-law, he would belong to their family. Even if he received more glory and wealth in the future, he wouldn't allow it. Otherwise, when the news spread to the village, they would be laughed at by the villagers. Zhao Tianlong's mouth twitched, and he replied, Father, what are you talking about? I'm marrying Miao Yin, not marrying into her family. If I really want to marry into her family, I'll definitely have to discuss it with you. Zhao Wenshi dropped the subject, it's good that it's not. This kind of thing can't be done. Father, I know. Zhao Tianlong's tone carried a hint of impatience. He was afraid of losing face in front of Princess Miao Yin. It was easy for a country bumpkin to make a fool of himself. Feng Zhangxia sighed and asked, Tianlong, if you marry the group leader, will she be your wife or concubine? Mother, with Miao Yin's noble status, she'll naturally be my wife. But you've already married Pan, She also married into your family first, what does Pan account for? She didn't make a fuss about it with you, did she? No matter what, Feng Zhangxia was quite satisfied with Shen Pan, as her daughter-in-law. She even helped her give birth to a grandson. Now that Zhao Tianlong had married Princess Miao Yin, Shen Pan naturally felt wronged. She could not help but remind Zhao Tianlong. Mother, Pan's status isn't as noble as Princess Miao Yin's. From now on, Pan will be my concubine and Miao Yin will be my wife. I've already explained it to Pan, and she agreed. Zhao Tianlong explained. When he said this, he felt a little guilty. But for his own future, he had to do it. After spending some time with Princess Miao Yin, Zhao Tianlong realized that Princess Miao Yin was a woman that Shen Pan couldn't compare to. She had both looks and talent. She was proficient in zither, chess, calligraphy, and painting, and was able to chat with him. Most importantly, their family backgrounds were not bad. They could be of great help to him. Shenpan was a gentle and considerate wife. Although Shenpan had sacrificed a lot for him, in the end, it couldn't compare to Princess Miao Yin's sacrifice. Chapter 24:19. However, there was still a faint feeling in his heart that something was wrong. When Hu Chunhua heard this, she began to praise Zhao Tianlong. You two as parents are really too much. Tianlong being able to marry our great Zhou's princess is his ability and fortune, yet you two are still nagging about it. After saying this, Hu Chunhua giggled as she walked up to Princess Miao Yin. She pulled Princess Miao Yin's hand and said, my new granddaughter-in-law is really different. Not to mention her status as a princess, she is also very beautiful. This old woman is already so old, but I haven't seen anyone more beautiful than you in a long time. Our old Zhao family is also emitting smoke from our ancestral graves, allowing Tianlong to marry such a good wife. Hu Chunhua's hands were covered in a layer of calluses from working all year round, making them look very rough. The most important thing was that they were black and there was dirt between the cracks. Princess Miao Yin looked at them with disgust and was not used to being pulled by Hu Chunhua. In addition, they had been on the road for the past 2 days and had not washed up, so there was a strange smell on their bodies. In Princess Miao Yin's eyes, it was very smelly, very unpleasant. Princess Miao Yin slowly pulled her hand out of Hu Chunhua's hand and awkwardly said, Tianlong is a dragon among men, marrying him is my fortune. My granddaughter-in-law's words are so nice. Tianlong, you have to be good to her, okay? Hu Chunhua said to Zhao Tianlong. Hu Chunhua saw things more clearly than Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia. Although Shenpan was also a good granddaughter-in-law, she could not compare to the dignified princess of the great Zhou country. Zhao Tianlong marrying this kind of wife would be very helpful to him. In the future, his road to promotion and wealth would be much easier. In this day and age, if one wanted to stand out and climb higher, one had to have a powerful background. It was absolutely impossible to rely on oneself. What's more, Zhao Tianlong was only marrying Princess Miao Yin as his official wife. He didn't say anything about divorcing Shenpan. The higher Zhao Tianlong climbed, the higher his position would be, and the more blessings he would enjoy together with Shenpan. Any considerate wife would know what to do. She couldn't delay her man's future. Zhao Tianlong said somewhat helplessly, Father, Mother, Grandmother, let's not stand outside and talk so much. Let's go inside and I'll arrange for you to have a good rest. Of course, this was just an excuse. Zhao Tianlong did not want Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia to lose face. The more they said, the more vulgar the country people were. Hu Chunhua felt that Zhao Tianlong's suggestion was very good. She was indeed very tired at this moment. Moreover, he was tired and hungry. After tossing and turning for a few days, if he didn't rest well, even his old bones wouldn't be able to hold on. Good. Then let's go inside and rest. It just so happens that this old woman wants to see what it's like inside. From the outside, it's really imposing. I've never seen such a big room before. Hu Chunhua's face was filled with joy and expectation. Zhao Tianlong replied with a bit of displeasure. At this moment, he was thinking about what to do in the future. Could it be that he really had to let his father and mother stay here? That wouldn't do. If they stayed in the capital, who knew what kind of joke they would become? He had to think of a reason to send the 3 of them back to Shuilon village. Chapter 24:20. As for Hui Chunhua, she walked to the entrance and snorted at the guard. She spat on the ground and scolded, "Little bastard, why don't you open your eyes and take a good look? I already said that I am your family's Lord Zhao's grandmother and you still don't believe me. Now you believe me. Let's see if you still dare to hit my wife in the future. You still want to be a servant with such poor eyesight." After Hui Chunhua finished scolding the guard, she straightened her back and walked towards Xiao Tianlong's residence. Her face was filled with complacency, as if she had won a victory. The guard at the entrance lowered his head, his heart was filled with shock. His family's Lord Zhao seemed to be quite kind, refined, and cultured. How did his family become like this? A bunch of uncultured country bumpkins. He really couldn't be blamed for making a mistake. It was a pity that he could only mutter these words in his heart. Princess Miao Yin walked behind Hui Chunhua. After seeing this scene, her disdain for Hui Chunhua increased. Her brows slightly knitted, thinking that country bumpkins were country bumpkins. It could be seen from their actions. If they had status, they wouldn't spit so casually. Wasn't it obvious that they were disgusting? Unfortunately, no matter how much she disliked them, they were still Xiao Tianlong's relatives. It wouldn't be good for her to kick them out now. She had to properly plan for the future. Otherwise, if she stayed with these vulgar people for a while longer, she definitely wouldn't be able to take it. They walked into Xiao Tianlong's residence. Because it was purchased with the help of Prince Jin, even in a place like the capital where every inch of land was worth gold, it was still luxurious. The residence was very big. After walking for half a day, they still hadn't reached the end. Hui Chunhua and the other two were like Granny Lu entering the Grand View Garden. They kept looking here and there, as if they couldn't get enough of it. Hui Chunhua couldn't help but sigh, "Oh, my mother, this residence is really big. I thought that having a few dozen rooms would be good enough. But there are more than a few dozen rooms. There are more than a few mu of land. Moreover, it was dazzling with gold and jade everywhere. It was truly imposing. I didn't come out to take a look this time. Who knew that there would be such a good house?" Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia were also shocked and nodded in agreement. "That's right, Mom. Sky Dragon's house is really big. We haven't even walked around for half a day and it's already half the size of our village. Haha, being a high-ranking official is indeed different, living in such a good place. How comfortable would it be to live in such a place every day? I can't think about it. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. Fortunately, we were smart enough to come here in advance to enjoy ourselves. Your father, that idiot, didn't even know to come along." Hui Chunhua was overjoyed as she muttered. Feng Zhangxia's heart was filled with the happiness of being able to move in. Instead, it was filled with pride. To be able to live in such a good house meant that his son was capable. He really wished that everyone in the village could come and take a look, and then envy her for having such a capable son. The three of them didn't know that their actions of looking around and sighing while walking made them look like clowns who hadn't seen the world. They even came out to make a fool of themselves. Zhao Tianlong wished that he could find a hole in the ground to hide in. Fortunately, this was his residence and no one else saw him. Miao Yin was also very good to him and had never despised him. Otherwise, if others saw him, he would definitely be laughed at. Chapter 24-21. Zhao Wenshi was a little unhappy. "Tianlong, what's wrong with that? It's fine to be a little louder in our own home. We're not being noisy, right?" Hui Chunhua chimed in, That's right, that's right. Tianlong, this is our home, not outside. What's the point of worrying so much? Who would be so restrained in their own home?" Zhao Tianlong felt even more helpless towards these three people. He could only hope that he could send them back as soon as possible. Otherwise, it would be too difficult for him to keep them around. Seeing that they did not listen to his advice, Zhao Tianlong could only give up. After walking for a while, they reached the central room. Zhao Tianlong instructed the servants to prepare some food. "Father, mother, grandmother, you must be hungry too. I've prepared some food. Sit down and eat first before you go back to rest." Zhao Tianlong called out. Zhao Wenshi and the other two nodded in agreement. If Zhao Tianlong did not say anything, they would not have felt anything. After he said it, they realized that their stomachs were growling. They were indeed hungry. They had been on the road for so long and had not eaten properly. All they ate was dry rations. When they finally reached Yang City, the guards did not allow them to enter Zhao Tianlong's residence. They had to wait outside for a long time. At this moment, their stomachs were growling. They could not wait to eat something, especially rice, to fill their stomachs. Good, good, good. There's no rush to rest. While eating, we can also chat with Tianlong. What did you experience when you became an official in the capital? How have you been? As parents, they were naturally concerned about their children's future. The corner of Zhao Tianlong's mouth twitched. He did not know how to refuse. Actually, he did not want to talk to them at all. At this moment, he wished that he could find a hole to hide in so that Zhao Wenshi and the rest would not find out. Hu Chunhua smiled and said to Princess Miao Yin, "Eldest granddaughter-in-law, you have to sit down. Let's have a good chat. As soon as I saw you, I liked you so much. It's not easy for our family to gather together." This is what Tianlong's father said. "Let's chat while we eat." Princess Miao Yin's eyes flashed with undetectable disdain. However, after so many years of good education and self-cultivation, she could not be too rude to her elders. After all, filial piety was the most important virtue. Furthermore, in front of Zhao Tianlong, she had to put on the appearance of a virtuous wife, and not a proud and willful princess. Suppressing the disgust in her heart, Princess Miao Yin pursed her lips and replied, "All right." Hu Chunhua couldn't stop smiling when she heard that. Not long after, the dishes were prepared in the kitchen, and the servants in the residence served the dishes. Needless to say, there was no need to mention the officials' meals. Red braised meat, roasted chicken, fish, braised lion's head, and so on were all laid out on the table. The richness of the food left Zhao Wenshi and the other two dumbfounded. Zhao Wenshi glanced at the dishes on the table and exclaimed, "Wow, the dishes are really sumptuous." That's right. They are all dishes that we have never seen before. Just by looking at the dishes and smelling the aroma, you can tell that they are extremely delicious. Being an official is indeed different. They eat all these good things. This old woman has lived for decades, but I have never seen such a sumptuous meal. Hu Chunhua smiled, not concealing the excitement in her heart. Chapter 24-22. Sure enough, the money she spent on Zhao Tianlong was not wasted. She was already so old and could still enjoy life for a while. She could eat well and live well. She could also live like those rich families and have servants by her side to serve her. This kind of life was something that many people could only wish for. Facing these three people, Zhao Tianlong felt even more embarrassed. The more Zhao Wenshi and the other sighed, the more it showed that their family was ignorant. In front of Princess Miao Yin, it naturally made them look even more despicable. The truth was just as Zhao Tianlong had feared. After Princess Miao Yin saw them, she felt even more disgusted. Previously, she felt that country bumpkins were just country bumpkins. It was just a difference in status, and the difference between them shouldn't be too big. Now that she saw Zhao Wenshi and the others, she truly understood what country bumpkins were. Sometimes, it wasn't just a difference in status, but also a difference in living environment and background. Personal knowledge, bottom line, and quality were all very different. There was an uncrossable gap in between. Princess Miao Yin thought of herself as a magnanimous person, but when she saw Zhao Wenshi and the others acting like this, she couldn't help but feel disgusted. She could maintain a polite appearance for a few days, but if she continued to endure like this, her heart would definitely collapse. Zhao Tianlong said with a sullen face, "Father, mother, grandmother, don't say so much. Hurry up and eat. Otherwise, the food won't taste good when it gets cold." "Ha, good. Everyone sit down and eat." Zhao Wenshi nodded with a smile, then called the others to sit down at the table. Hui Chunhua impatiently picked up her chopsticks and placed a lot of food into her bowl. After tasting the food, Hui Chunhua giggled, "Delicious, delicious, really delicious. Tianlong, the chef you hired is really good. The chefs in Yang City's restaurants are not as good as your chefs. Boss wife, quickly try it." "Mother, we know. You eat your food, we know how to eat." Feng Zhangxia replied. Because the three of them were tired from the journey, they were already very hungry. Once again, they had never seen such good food in their lives. Each and every one of them looked like beggars who had been starving for a few days, crouching in front of the table and wolfing down the food. In addition, he was a country bumpkin, so the way he ate was rather crude. He didn't pay much attention to the places where he ate, and the noise he made was particularly loud. Especially when he was eating, his mouth kept mumbling non-stop. Seeing this scene, Princess Miao Yin frowned. Facing the table full of food, she couldn't eat. Her chopsticks didn't move for a long time. Zhao Tianlong, who was sitting at the side, was equally embarrassed and did not eat much. Seeing the dissatisfaction on Princess Miao Yin's face, Zhao Tianlong braced himself and said to Zhao Wenshi and the other two, "Father, mother, grandmother, eat slowly, don't rush. No one is fighting with you to eat, so why are you in such a hurry to eat? Also, don't talk when you're eating, and don't talk when you're sleeping. Since you're eating, don't nag. Finish your meal first." After Zhao Tianlong finished speaking, Zhao Wenshi put down the chopsticks in his hand and snorted, "Tianlong, we don't understand those flowery words of yours. Moreover, didn't we eat like this at home? We've been like this for our whole lives, so why are we so particular about it?" Chapter 24-23. Feng Zhangxia replied, "It's because Sky Dragon has been studying too much. He's too particular about what he learns from books. Us country bumpkins have never studied before, so naturally, we are not like him." "That's true." Zhao Wenshi nodded thoughtfully. Although many of the principles in the books are correct, not everything is correct. Eating like us, the whole family chatting while eating, how lively is that? In our village, every family is the same, and I have never heard anyone say that it's wrong. It's fine, it's fine. Tianlong was just saying, we don't have to take it to heart. Let's continue eating. Hui Chunhua called out. After wolfing down the food for a while, they still did not fill their stomachs. Not sure if it was because they were too hungry, but they kept feeling that their stomachs were empty. Zhao Wenshi's face sank even more. He had already said it, but unfortunately, these people refused to listen. What could he do? How could he quarrel with Zhao Wenshi and the rest? That would make him seem unfilial. If someone were to find out and spread the news, he would become a joke. Hui Chunhua saw that Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin had not touched their chopsticks, and hurriedly called out, "Eldest grandson, eldest granddaughter-in-law, don't just stand there. Hurry up and eat. Otherwise, this meal will be finished by the three of us." As Hui Chunhua spoke, she deliberately put a chicken drumstick into Princess Miao Yin's bowl with concern, and smiled fawningly. Eldest granddaughter-in-law, it's not that Grandma wants to lecture you, but your small body is still too thin. You have to eat more to nourish your body, so that our old Zhao family can have another grandson. Princess Miao Yin looked at the chicken drumstick that Hui Chunhua had put in her bowl. How could she eat it? This old woman was so dirty, and she was using her own chopsticks to pick food for her. She had a bit of misophobia, so naturally, she could not stand it. However, Princess Miao Yin could not flare up, so she could only give the chicken drumstick to Zhao Tianlong, and faintly reply to Hui Chunhua, "Grandma, I don't like to eat chicken drumsticks. You don't have to give me food. I'm not hungry. I can't eat now." Hui Chunhua stared blankly. She didn't see Princess Miao Yin's disdain. My eldest granddaughter-in-law, you must only eat and drink good food. You don't even like chicken drumsticks. If we were in the countryside, everyone would fight to eat such good food." Zhao Tianlong was being tormented by Zhao Wenshi and Hui Chunhua to the point that he was on the verge of breaking down. "Grandmother, Princess Miao Yin is from the capital, and she's also a princess. You shouldn't speak in front of her like how you speak in the countryside. Even if you speak with extravagant embellishments, she won't understand." Hui Chunhua smiled awkwardly. "Oh, Tianlong, I'm just concerned about my granddaughter-in-law." "Well, Dad, Mom, Grandma, you guys eat. I'll take Sweet Sound back to rest first. The servants will help you settle down later." Zhao Tianlong could not bear it any longer and could only leave with Princess Miao Yin. If they were to continue staying here, Zhao Tianlong was afraid that Princess Miao Yin would get angry. Zhao Wenshi hurriedly said, Tianlong, you child, why are you leaving so early? Why aren't you accompanying Dad and Mom to chat more?" Zhao Tianlong ignored Zhao Wenshi's calls and still left with Princess Miao Yin. After leaving, it became much quieter. However, this was not a solution. Chapter 24-24. The more Zhao Tianlong thought about it, the more tired he felt. How did he end up with such a family? It wasn't easy for him to become a high-ranking official. With Prince Jin's help, he would only climb higher in the future. He didn't want to be delayed by his family. Seeing Princess Miao Yin's displeasure, Zhao Tianlong held her hand and said softly, "Miao Yin, it's been hard on you." Princess Miao Yin pulled out a smile and shook her head. "It's nothing. For you, I don't care about anything, I can endure anything." Zhao Tianlong sighed and looked at Princess Miao Yin with a touched expression. "Miao Yin, you're too good to me. Originally, marrying me made you suffer. I'm just a country boy, I can't compare to those officials in the city. But you still insisted on marrying me and endured all these with me. Miao Yin, I will not let you down in this life, I will love you well." Princess Miao Yin revealed a happy smile. "This princess has taken a fancy to you. Even if you're just a country boy, as long as I like you, I will be with you. You don't have the arrogance of those officials, you make me feel at ease. I believe that if I follow you, you will cherish me and won't let me suffer any grievances." Zhao Tianlong pulled Princess Miao Yin into his embrace. "Miao Yin, don't worry, I will only hold you in the palm of my hand." At this moment, Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin were in a lovey-dovey situation, completely forgetting that he was deeply in love with Shenpan. When he made those promises, his heart might really be like that. However, time will change everything. Even the vows of undying love could be blown away by the wind, completely forgotten. If the world's most heartless animal is a man. Zhao Wenshi and the other two ate for a long time until their stomachs were full. Only when they couldn't eat anymore did they stop. The servants in the residence led the three of them to their assigned living quarters. Master, madam, old madam, this is where you will live. If you have any orders, just tell us tonight. Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia were assigned to a room, while Hu Chunhua was assigned to a room next to theirs. The two rooms were very large, and the decorations inside were also very luxurious. The living quarters in the countryside could never be compared to them. Hu Chunhua went into the room and looked around. She touched here and there, sighing that the furniture in the room was too good. TSK, 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 this room is too good. Hu Chunhua murmured. I can live in this big house alone. I didn't even dare to think about it in the past. Now, thanks to the heavenly dragon, I can live here. Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia shared the same sentiments as Hu Chunhua. The room was indeed very good. It was brightly lit and different from the low thatched houses in the countryside. Living in such a big room would make one's mood a lot better. This bed is really soft. The quilt on top and the cotton on the bottom are both soft and comfortable. How warm would it be to sleep at night? Especially this quilt, is it made of silk? It's so smooth to the touch, so comfortable. Hu Chunhua purposely laid down on the bed as she spoke, enjoying the comfort. Boss's wife, you don't say, it's really good. Our countryside can't compare at all. Being an official and having money is really different. People from poor families can't enjoy such good things in their lifetime. Chapter 24-25. Feng Zhangxia chuckled, Mother, if an official's family isn't good, then who would want to be an official? As for us, we can drag along Tianlong's good fortune and enjoy ourselves here. That's true, haha. The more Hu Chunhua thought about it, the happier she became. She couldn't control the excitement in her heart. Mother, then you should rest well in the room. Tianlong's father and I will go to the other room to rest. All right, go ahead. Hu Chunhua nodded. Now that she was full, she began to feel sleepy. In addition, she had been on the move for several days and hadn't rested well, so she was very sleepy. It was fine if she didn't think about it, but once she thought about it, Hu Chunhua yawned again and again. She took off her shoes and crawled into bed. Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi went to the other room to rest. The three of them didn't wash up and directly fell asleep. They didn't eat dinner and slept until the next morning. Princess Miao Yin called for a servant to inquire about Zhao Wenshi and the other two's behavior yesterday. When she heard that they went to bed without washing up, she was disgusted by the level of filth. She suppressed the displeasure in her heart and calculated how she could drive the three of them out of the residence. Of course, she couldn't do it openly. If others found out, they would only gossip. Of all virtues, filial piety was the most important. Princess Miao Yin didn't want herself and Zhao Tianlong to be criticized. She had to think of a suitable method to make them unable to say anything. After thinking for a while, Shen Pan called for Zhao Wenshi and the other two to come out for breakfast. Zhao Tianlong had gone to the morning court early in the morning and wasn't in the residence. Taking advantage of the time when the three of them were eating, Princess Miao Yin ordered a servant to secretly stuff something into Hu Chunhua's bed. She planned to frame Hu Chunhua and drive her away. Just as Zhao Wenshi and the other two were happily finishing their breakfast and sighing about how sumptuous it was, Zhao Tianlong returned from the morning court. Zhao Wenshi chuckled and asked Zhao Tianlong, Tianlong, have you eaten yet? Being an official isn't easy. You have to wake up so early every day. Zhao Tianlong pulled the corner of his mouth and replied, Father, I've already eaten. You guys also just ate, right? Haha, that's right. We woke up late today and just ate. Tianlong, your residence has so much variety in the morning, and it's so delicious. The countryside is so Father and mother will be able to enjoy life with you in the future. Zhao Wenshi sighed with emotion. How could he not be happy when he thought about how he could eat and drink like this every day? Zhao Tianlong's eyes revealed a hint of Zhao Tianlong's eyes. Sigh. It was his father's words that made him a little embarrassed to send them back. He Zhao, SSS, he was, it TS to be an official TTS. Otherwise, how could he have the opportunity to come to the capital to take the exam, and how could he be so lucky as to meet Princess Miao Yin? If he didn't study, he would probably work in the fields like other countrymen. How could he be an official, live in a big residence, and live a good life? But it wasn't good to let them stay in the residence. While Zhao Tianlong was in a dilemma, Princess Miao Yin suddenly said, "Husband, I think I lost my golden bracelet. The Empress Dowager personally gave it to me. If the Empress Dowager finds out that I lost it, she'll definitely punish me." Chapter 24-26. Princess Miao Yin frowned as she recalled, "Yesterday when I returned to the residence, I was still touching it. Last night when I went back to sleep, it seemed to have disappeared. So it's like this." Zhao Tianlong thought for a moment and said, "Those things should still be in the residence." Princess Miao Yin nodded, "And it should be in the residence. Since it's in the residence, there's a possibility of finding it. It's much better than leaving it outside. Quickly send someone to look for it. It should be able to be found." Zhao Tianlong said softly. Princess Miao Yin sighed, "I've already sent someone to look for it, but they couldn't find it." Zhao Tianlong frowned. "How is that possible?" "They actually left it in the residence. If we search carefully, we will definitely be able to find it. It must be that these servants did not do their job properly. Let them continue searching, I don't believe that they won't be able to find it." Princess Miao Yin whispered, "Tianlong, you know our servants well. They all do their best, how could they dare to slack off?" "Then what's going on?" Zhao Tianlong asked, puzzled. "In my opinion, someone must have secretly hidden it after it was accidentally lost yesterday. It's such a valuable thing. They must want to keep it for themselves and are not willing to hand it over." Princess Miao Yin spoke out her conjecture. After Zhao Tianlong heard this, he became angry. They dare to hide their master's things. Sometimes, if we catch someone who doesn't return it, we will immediately expel them from the residence. Our residence will not raise people with dirty hands." Princess Miao Yin also appeared somewhat sad. This kind of person cannot be kept in the residence. Their hands and feet are dirty. I'm afraid it will be the same in the future. The residents cannot tolerate this kind of person, no matter who it is. Zhao Tianlong replied heavily, "Yes, this kind of person cannot be tolerated." Even Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia agreed, I'm most afraid of raising a traitor at home. Tianlong, once you catch him, you will be severely punished. A country has its laws, and a family has its rules. Every rule in the family, where does the master's imposing manner come from? How can he control so many people in the residence? Zhao Tianlong replied, "Then let's search. We have to search every inch of it carefully. Today, I will definitely find this person with dirty hands and feet." When the servants heard Zhao Tianlong's instructions, they hurriedly went to hide the items in the residence. Under Princess Miao Yin's arrangements, even Hua Chunhua's room was not spared. Originally, Zhao Wenshi, Feng Zhangxia, and Hua Chunhua had the attitude of watching a good show. In the end, they heard a manservant come to report that Princess Miao Yin's golden bracelet was found under Hua Chunhua's quilt. Hua Chunhua was stunned. She didn't steal it at all. How could it be found in her bed? Hua Chunhua scolded the servant who came to report, "How can you frame me like this? I didn't take it. It must be one of you who stole it." You want to shirk responsibility, so you stuffed the golden bracelet under my blanket and framed me. The servants replied with trepidation, "Old madam, we didn't and we wouldn't dare." When we searched, there were several people present at the same time to avoid the possibility of framing others. There were several people who saw it when it was found under your quilt. And old madam, no matter how much courage we have, we wouldn't dare to do such a disrespectful thing. Chapter 24-27. The servants did not dare to talk back to Wu Chunhua and could only helplessly look at Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin. Zhao Tianlong's current state of mind was very complicated. Regardless of whether Wu Chunhua did it or not, he had already lost a lot of face, especially in front of Princess Miao Yin. Because this matter showed that his family members were not only vulgar, but also very greedy. Not to mention Princess Miao Yin, even he himself could not stand such people. Wu Chunhua saw that Zhao Tianlong's reaction seemed to be believing the servants and became anxious. She hurriedly said to Zhao Tianlong, "Tianlong, don't listen to these servants' nonsense. Your grandmother is not such a person. How could she do such a thing? From what I see, they are clearly making things difficult for this old woman and are deliberately framing me." Zhao Tianlong slightly said, "Grandmother, the servants can't be working together to frame you, right? These gold bracelets must have been found in your bed." Wu Chunhua's face turned red with anger when she heard this. She glared at Zhao Tianlong and said, "Tianlong, why are you like this? You can believe a few servants, but you can't believe your own grandmother." Zhao Tianlong's face darkened. "Grandmother, it's not that I don't believe you, but the truth is in front of me. I only believe in the truth. Why would the servants say that they found them in your bed for no reason?" Wu Chunhua spat a mouthful of saliva on the ground and replied contemptuously, "Bah, how would I know why these servants are trying to pin the blame on me? In any case, this old woman did not steal or take it. This matter has nothing to do with me." Zhao Wenshi could not stand it anymore. He knew his mother's character. Usually, he would want to put everything he saw into his pocket. This time, she probably saw that Princess Miao Yin's gold bracelets were valuable and secretly picked them up. She did not think of returning them and hid them in her bed. She did not expect that they would be found. She was so desperate that she was unwilling to admit it. Wu Chunhua had used this trick more than once when she was at old Zhao's house. Zhao Wenshi was already used to it. She turned to Wu Chunhua and said, "Mother, if you want to give it to me, just give it to me. It's not a big deal anyway. Can't you just make things clear now?" Feng Zhangxia chimed in, "That's right, Mother. So be it. They've already found it in your house. What else is there to say?" He had only picked it up secretly, so it wasn't considered stealing. His eldest daughter-in-law would definitely not fuss about it. "Why are you quarreling with Sky Dragon?" When Wu Chunhua saw that her son and daughter-in-law were all siding with Zhao Tianlong and saying that she was not, she was instantly enraged. How infuriating. If she was really the one who did it, then so be it. But this matter was not her at all. Who would be happy to have a pot of sh*t thrown at them for no reason? Wu Chunhua was so angry that her mouth was almost crooked. She spat at Zhao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia, "Bah! You two heartless people think that this old woman got it. I said it wasn't, so it wasn't. Why don't you believe me?" Feng Zhangxia wiped the saliva off her face in disgust and said to Wu Chunhua, "Mother, it's not that we don't believe you. How can we believe you when the truth is so obvious? Even if it was a servant who framed you. Why would so many people frame you? You were only caught because your butt was dirty." Chapter 24-28. What Feng Zhangxia was most dissatisfied with was Wu Chunhua's temperament. Other mothers-in-law were not as powerful as Hu Chunhua. She only said a few words of fairness and spoke her mind. She did not mean anything else. However, after Hu Chunhua heard Feng Zhangxia's words, she became even more furious and rushed up to fight with Feng Zhangxia. You stinky woman, you actually know how to slander me. It seems like you're asking for a beating. See how my wife will deal with you. Hu Chunhua stretched out her black claws and scratched towards Feng Zhangxia's face. She seemed to have gathered all her strength and wanted to scratch Feng Zhangxia's face. While the two were pushing and shoving, they did not pay much attention. When Princess Miao Yin saw the situation, she deliberately raised her voice to stop them. Seeing this, she had an idea and deliberately moved forward to stop the fight. In the midst of the shoving, Princess Miao Yin was accidentally knocked down and fell heavily to the ground. Princess Miao Yin cried out in pain. Zhao Tianlong was so scared that he rushed up. Miao Yin, how are you? Are you alright? Hu Chunhua and Feng Zhangxia also stopped their actions because of Princess Miao Yin's accident. No matter how strong Hu Chunhua was, she did not dare to move in this situation. She nervously looked at Princess Miao Yin's accident. Eldest granddaughter-in-law, what happened? Are you alright? It's grandma's fault. I accidentally touched you, Hu Chunhua weakly said to Princess Miao Yin. She then glared at Feng Zhangxia and said, It's all because of you, you bitch. If it weren't for you, my eldest granddaughter-in-law wouldn't have been hurt. Feng Zhangxia was speechless. How could this matter be blamed on her? Just now, she did not move. It was Hu Chunhua who attacked first. She only blocked her. She couldn't just let Hu Chunhua hit her, right? She had accidentally hurt Princess Miao Yin, and as a result, Hu Chunhua had pushed all the blame onto her. This was simply too unreasonable. Mother, you were the one who attacked first. How can you blame me? If you didn't attack me, would you have been able to hurt anyone? You're already so old, yet your temper is still so bad. Feng Zhangxia accused Hu Chunhua in dissatisfaction. If it was in the past, Feng Zhangxia would not dare to talk back to Hu Chunhua. In the countryside, the mother-in-law was more important than the daughter-in-law. The daughter-in-law had to listen to whatever the mother-in-law said. But things were different now. Now that she had such a capable son like Zhao Tianlong to rely on, who would she be afraid of? Zhao Tianlong was annoyed by the noise and snapped, Can all of you shut up? Don't you find it annoying to quarrel with each other? Don't you find it a joke? With Zhao Tianlong's roar, Hu Chunhua and Feng Zhangxia were so scared that they did not even dare to fart. Seeing that Hu Chunhua and Feng Zhangxia had calmed down, Zhao Tianlong turned to Princess Miao Yin and asked with concern, Miao Yin, how are you? Does it hurt? Are you hurt anywhere? Princess Miao Yin nodded and pointed to her knee, It hurts here. Zhao Tianlong rolled up Princess Miao Yin's trousers and discovered that Princess Miao Yin's knees had been injured. Seeing the traces of blood on it, Zhao Tianlong's heart ached. One must know that Princess Miao Yin had been pampered since she was young. Being held in the palm of his hand, he was afraid that she would be hurt. Under the protection of Prince Jin, Princess Miao Yin rarely got hurt. She did not expect that not long after marrying him, she would be hurt by his family. Chapter 24-29. Zhao Tianlong is filled with guilt as he says to Princess Miao Yin, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Princess Miao Yin shakes her head as her lips curl into a smile. She comforts Zhao Tianlong, It's alright Tianlong. It's just a small injury. Moreover, this matter has nothing to do with you. You don't have to apologize to me. Miao Yin, the more Princess Miao Yin says this, the more guilty Zhao Tianlong feels. Although he didn't push her, nor did he cause her injury, he can't escape responsibility. If not for him, Feng Zhangxia and Hu Chunhua wouldn't have come to the residence. If not for these few people causing trouble, how could Princess Miao Yin be injured? The resentment that he had accumulated towards Xiao Wenshi and the other two suddenly erupts at this moment. Zhao Tianlong looks towards Hu Chunhua, Xiao Wenshi and Feng Zhangxia and says, "Father, mother, grandmother, there's something I want to tell you." Seeing Zhao Tianlong's stern face, it doesn't look like he has anything good to say. She asks, "Tianlong, what do you want to say? If you have something to say, just say it." "Tianlong, what's the matter?" Zhao Tianlong takes a deep breath. Since he has to say it sooner or later, he might as well take advantage of this opportunity to say it directly to prevent more problems from happening in the residence in the future. "Father, mother, grandmother, I'll send someone to send you back tomorrow. Back to Shuilon village." Hearing Zhao Tianlong's words, the three of them are stunned. Their eyes widen, thinking that they heard wrongly. Hu Chunhua asks with a trembling voice. "What? Tianlong, you said you're sending us back to Shuilon village. What's this for?" "Yes, Tianlong, what do you mean by this? It wasn't easy for us to come here. Why are you sending us back? We're going to stay here in the future. Later on, we're going to bring your grandfather and Pan over to stay." Zhao Wenshi frowns as he asks, puzzled. Zhao Tianlong says, "What I mean is that we're going to stay in Shuilon village in the future. There's no need to come over." Hu Chunhua and the other two were dumbfounded. "Tianlong, our old Zhao family supported your education and hoped that you would be successful. Now that you're an official in the capital, you won't let us live here. What's the meaning of this? We're all hoping to follow you and enjoy life. We've waited so long for this day. Why are you like this? Do you have the heart to see us go back and suffer? Sky Dragon. What you're doing is unkind." To put it bluntly, he was unfilial and deserved to be struck by lightning. It wasn't easy for our family to support you, and now that you've made a name for yourself, you're kicking us aside. Is this something a human would do? Even Feng Zhangxia, who usually protected her son, said angrily. Feng Zhangxia didn't mind if she kicked Hu Chunhua out, but Feng Zhangxia naturally didn't feel comfortable if she kicked him and Zhao Wenshi out as well. If he went back now, it was not a matter of whether he could enjoy life or not, but if he stayed in the countryside, he would definitely be laughed at by the villagers. Those gossips in the village would definitely talk about how her son was going to become an official in the capital, while she was still holed up in a remote place instead of following him to the capital to enjoy life. Zhao Tianlong directly said what he was thinking. "Father, mother, grandmother, this is the capital and not some other place. You guys came here and caused such a ruckus, revealing the vulgarity of the villagers. If this spreads out, I'll only be laughed at by my colleagues. I can forget about staying in the capital in the future." Chapter 24:30. Zhao Wenshi was so angry at Zhao Tianlong's words that his body trembled. He scolded Zhao Tianlong, "Tianlong, haven't you thought that if you chase the three of us back, we will only be laughed at and embarrassed by the villagers? As the saying goes, a son doesn't despise his mother for being ugly, and a dog doesn't despise his family for being poor. Our old Zhao family worked so hard to raise you and spent so much effort and money on you. Is this how you despise us? How are we embarrassing you if we stay here? What have we done? I think these are all excuses. You don't want us to stay here, right?" Hu Chunhua also scolded, "Now that you have the ability, your wings have hardened. You even despise your own family. What kind of heartless creatures are you raising? If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have spent so much money. Now I'm so frustrated." Although Feng Zhangxia was angry, she still let out a long sigh. She first comforted Zhao Wenshi and Hu Chunhua, all right. Mother, Tianlong's father, don't be so harsh with your words. Discuss this with Tianlong. After all, we are family. What's the point of making things like this? After Feng Zhangshe finished speaking, she said to Zhao Tianlong kindly, Tianlong, we didn't know the rules of the capital, so we were a little immature. Please don't take it to heart. I promise that I will be more careful in the future and won't do it again. Can you not let us return to Shuilan village? Not to mention the torment, we will definitely be laughed at by the villagers when we return. Even you will be ridiculed by the villagers. It's not good to make a bad joke out of ourselves. Tianlong, you are our old Zhao family's only hope. Father and mother have watched you become a high-ranking official. It wasn't easy for you to stand out. We have waited for so many years for this day to come. We want to follow you and live a good life. Now that you want us to go back, aren't you hurting our hearts? Although Zhao Tianlong felt a little guilty, he still insisted, Father, Mother, don't blame your son for being heartless. Your son really has no other choice. Being an official in the capital is not as easy as you think. Once you are mocked and looked down upon by your colleagues, your path in the bureaucracy will be difficult. If your son is not doing well, how can you live a good life? It was all thanks to Princess Miao Yin that he was able to come third in the imperial examination and become a high-ranking official. Otherwise, he might have already returned to Shuilan village. I'm just a poor student with no money or power. Do you really think you can rely on yourself to get to where you are today? Zhao Wenshi and the other two were stunned when they heard this. They did not expect Zhao Tianlong to be an official to have so many tricks up his sleeves. According to what Zhao Tianlong had said, the few of them really could not stay in capital city and delay Zhao Tianlong's career. However, they were unwilling to go back like this. Zhao Tianlong said, Father, Mother, it's fine if you don't want to stay in the village. I'll buy you a house in Yang City or town. You can stay there. For the time being, let's arrange it like this. There's nothing to discuss. In any case, you can't stay in capital city. I'll let the servants make the arrangements and prepare some gold and silver for you. In the future, I'll send people to send you money and things back. Even if you don't live in capital city, you can still have ample food and clothing and enjoy the rest of your lives. After he finished speaking, Zhao Tianlong picked up Princess Miao Yin and said, I'm going to bring Miao Yin to apply medicine. If there's nothing else, I won't accompany you. Chapter 24:31. Thus, under Zhao Tianlong's arrangement, Zhao Wenshi and the other two arrived at the capital with great difficulty. However, they were sent back before they could even stay for 2 days. After Zhao Wenshi left, Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin heaved a sigh of relief. They felt as if a stone had been removed from their hearts. Zhao Wenshi and the other two were in low spirits throughout the journey. Hu Chenhua was sobbing non-stop as she scolded, that stinking brat Tianlong is not human. Old Zhao family has been waiting for him to make a name for himself. Yet, he actually chased us all back. How can Yang City and the town compare to the comfort of living in the capital? Oh my God, isn't he afraid of being struck by lightning? How can he treat his own mother and grandmother like this? Our family's efforts over the years have all gone to waste. Although Feng Zhangshe was unhappy about being sent back, she was even more unhappy about Hu Chunhua's nagging and slandering of her own son. After rushing for an entire day, Feng Zhangshe said to Hu Chunhua in a low voice, Mother, can't you stop for a bit? Now that we're back, there's no point in nagging. You're so noisy that it hurts my ears. Also, how did our old Zhao family's efforts on Tianlong go to waste? Didn't Tianlong give us a lot of money? With this money, why should we be afraid that we won't be able to eat or drink for the rest of our lives? When the time comes, won't we be able to live freely in the town? The capital is a place for high officials and nobles to live in. We country folk are not suitable. Let's just forget about it. Hu Chunhua angrily glared at Feng Zhangxia and said, "It's all because of you, woman. Now you're talking as if nothing happened. When we return to the village, you'll be the first to be laughed at. You'll be crying." Feng Zhangxia lightly snorted, "Mother, there's no meaning in saying that. What did I do wrong? You were the one who made a fuss and made Tianlong unhappy. We all rushed back. Tianlong's father and I were implicated because of you. Otherwise, we would still be in the capital enjoying life. I don't know how you can say something like that." Hu Chunhua's embarrassment turned into anger. She wanted to fight with Feng Zhangxia again, but was stopped by Zhao Wenshi. Zhao Wenshi rubbed his aching forehead and scolded coldly, "Can you guys stop arguing? My head is as big as two heads. If you continue to annoy me, I won't be polite." Only then did Hua and Feng Zhangxia stop. After traveling for 2 days, the three of them returned to old Zhao's house. Seeing that they had returned, Zhao Baoshan snorted lightly and said with a mocking voice, "Yo, why are you back again? Shouldn't you be in the capital?" Hu Chunhua's face darkened as she scolded Tianlong in front of Zhao Baoshan. He thought that Zhao Baoshan would be angry after hearing this, but he didn't expect Zhao Baoshan to say indifferently, all right. It's not easy for Sky Dragon to make a name for himself. As his elders, let's not give him any more trouble. It's not like he doesn't care about us. Didn't he give us the money? No matter what, old Zhao's family can live without worries in the future. It's good to stay in the village when you're old. A fallen leaf returns to its roots. Nowhere is better than your hometown. Why must you insist on going to the capital? You can eat and drink every day. Isn't it enough to live comfortably?" Hu Chunhua pursed her lips, "Old man, you're so open-minded. What's so good about this remote place? Nothing can compare to the capital." You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.